All right. So the is everyone there? First of all, I didn't even ask when I got back. Actually.
Yeah.
No, I'm
Yep.
not here.
All right. Well, you don't really matter anyway.
Oh.
All right. So the world of Exandria has been somewhat peaceful since the defeat of Vecna a little over 100 years ago. While there have been some conflicts between nations on other continents, the worst that Tal'Dorei has faced was various giant clans attacking mountainside settlements. Roaming packs of wild folk, that kind of stuff. Uh, Even in the time of relative peace, that doesn't mean that everything is going smooth. There have been whispers of government corruption, of deities, new deities, both good and bad, who are gathering followers and some coming into somewhat powerful positions. And some people, mostly the crazy people, the ones who think they can see the future, are saying they have begun to see signs of the peaceful times coming to an end. It's getting a little bit colder over time now. It's nearing the end of the summer. The year is 922, so like I said, a little over 100 years since the defeat of Vecna. And you are all in the city of Whiterunn through either job postings or word of mouth, just talking to people around the city. You have all heard that some of the local farmers have been having a bit of trouble lately, and there is a tavern in Whiterunn that has a large job posting board out on the front of it, where you all are going to be at. So right there, I guess we will go ahead and start doing some character introductions. So let's see. Who's for? All right, Daniel, you want to go ahead and just you're all going to be in a tavern. What would you be doing in a tavern by yourself? What would you be doing? Like, what would you look like? What's your guy look like? That kind of stuff.
Okay, gotcha. So, before you in the tavern, you see what appears to be a dragonborn armored, like it, with an armored helm, chainmail, decked out. Just you can't see a bit of skin on him, and he's probably being just extremely boisterous, shouting with folks, trying to bring up a merry good time in this tavern. Because, of course, how do these people not know of Hrothgar? Hrothgar, the Iron Dragon, amazing pirate from all the oceans and seas of this world, traveled far and wide. Everyone knows of Hrothgar. How? How have these people in this town not heard of me?
Sounds good. All right. And what would you be doing? Would you be kind of just by yourself? Would you be like not by yourself? Shouldn't say, since you said you're going to be trying to liven up the party. Would you be drinking? Would you be doing anything in particular besides just trying to cheer everyone up?
Oh yeah. I'll probably just be cheering everybody up and regaling them of tales of my grand adventures.
Sounds good. All right. Rob, what would you think seeing this? Another somewhat dragonborn.
Well, does this dragonborn have a tail?
What's your armor show?
No tail.
Well, that would seem interesting, considering that not all dragonborns either have or have not got tails. But seems a little boisterous for probably early morning to midday. But not the worst acts I've seen.
And you want to do a quick character description too?
I certainly can. Gekul would be in the tavern with a regular-sized tankard. He is a rather large blue dragonborn with no tail, wearing some basic furs over the shoulder and around the waist. Got a couple of axes on his person, and seems relatively well groomed. But apart from that, he's currently either helping someone in the tavern or waiting for...
Rob, just so you're aware, you're going a little bit robot-y.
Sorry, 1 second. Is that a little better?
Yep.
Significantly.
Yeah, I promised my guy... Oh, Jesus, it's done it again. My guy doesn't actually sound like a robot. But yes, he'll either be waiting for someone or helping someone already in the tavern.
All right. I guess we'll move next on to Oliver. What would you be?
Oh, let me see. Oliver would probably be just recently arrived at the tavern. He's a relatively young type, very, very pale blue, almost white skin with black horns and golden eyes. Uh, Scale mail and a shield that clearly look like they might not be the best fit for him, and would probably just be trying to manage to without dropping too much of it, breaking anything, apologizing occasionally as someone bumps into him.
And Barnabas would be together. We need done. And you guys had all seen a job posting, or like I said, heard about it. Some of the farmers have been losing livestock. They didn't give much information on the posting, but they did say they would be at this tavern at sunset. So that is why you all were here.
Yeah, Alba would probably slap Barnabas awake.
Yes, what is it?
Oh, there's a lady here. Probably a farmer, I assume.
Okay, what do we want with the farmer?
Job that we looked on the notice board. Don't you remember?
Oh, yeah.
Of course you do. Now pick up your owl and let's head out.
He gets all of his stuff, sort of muttering under his breath.
Come on, come on. And she downs her drink before pushing Barnabas ahead of her.
Yeah, and you guys, you saw her enter. It was just a small door that was on the side of the bar. There would be that door, a small window, and then another door which would lead out into the back. But this one just leads into another room. It looks like it's probably where the innkeeper lives. So there's a bed back there with a small table, and there's probably only enough seats for like 3 people to sit down total. So Barnabas and Alba are going in. Everyone else, you see these two. Kind of strange, a younger woman who looks like she probably could handle herself with a maybe great grandfather, something like that. They don't look alike, they don't look related, but it is a very stark difference. And seeing this guy go in as as someone who's looking for a job is a bit strange. But what does everyone else do?
Well, as soon as I see them heading in after hearing the lady there, it's just, oh, I imagine I'm just currently talking to the barkeep. Sorry, I'm sorry. Duty calls. I must be out to my next adventure. I'll just start heading that way. Oh, old timer, are you going on this grand adventure as well?
Are you talking to Barnabas?
Yeah.
He just sort of like looks you up and down. I suppose so. And he sort of just looks at Alba like, who is this person talking to me?
She just shrugs.
And he said, well, come on.
Very good. A seasoned individual has much wisdom. I'm sure it'll be very useful.
Sort of, straightens his shoulders a little bit like, oh, yeah. This smart one. This Alba, you should pay attention.
Oh, I will pay so much attention, Barney.
Don't call me Barney.
Oliver, who is still managing his equipment for the most part, mostly misses the call for roll, but when he sees several other people who clearly look at least vaguely like adventure types, especially the Dragonborn who has since gotten up and followed them, he'll just hurriedly try to scoop everything back up, crossbows, maces, all this stuff, and trudge in behind them as quickly as possible. Hold the door if you could.
Of course. And Alba will just hold the door and kind of bow to allow him inside.
As Oliver is passing, he would smile and give just a grateful, quiet nod before continuing into the room.
Behind his back, Alba rolls her eyes as she goes inside.
Geckle will get up after seeing this wonderful display and just slowly follow everyone else. Just open the door after it's been closed. Don't mind me, I'm also on the job.
Fair enough. As you guys start filtering in, she is just sitting on the end of the bed at the foot of it, just looking kind of expectantly. Kind of as Alba walked in first, she gave her a bit of a smile and a nod, and then followed by Barnabas. She kind of looked at you a little bit strangely, not expecting to see someone who looked like you there, but she welcomes you all in, asks you all to sit, and then like I said, there's 3 seats, so I guess the first 3 in would be allowed to sit. Everyone else will be standing. And Geckle, as you get in, would you please close the door behind you so you can hear me over the music?
Very well.
So, yeah, she she will once the door is closed, she'll look at you all and say, I'm very sorry. We didn't give much information in the flyer. My name is Allison Carr. I am from a farming family and run a bit of a small shop in the southeastern section of the market uh, ward. We, a group of us farmers, have been having a bit of trouble lately. Uh, we've been losing livestock. We've been going out in the mornings and they were gone. Mainly when they're grazing. It doesn't seem as if anyone's coming into the actual stables or anything. Um, we have not been able to find much. A few of the some of the other farmers' husbands and sons have gone out to look for whatever and get left, or for find them, or at least find out what's happening.
Search party then. Oh, that should be no problem.
Yeah, search and any information that can be found about what or who or anything about what is happening to our livestock would be much appreciated. We are just farmers. We don't have much, but a handful of us have gathered together to put up some bit of a reward. And she pulls out a small chest, and puts it on the table. And she tells you that there is 125 gold in it. And she says, "It's not much, but it's not a far travel, and it will be a great benefit if you're able to help us."
Just kind of look it over. It's like a, oh, of course, of course. What about all you?
Well, I don't mind. A small job to start off a small little adventure group, I suppose.
I don't have any problem with it either. Miss, and as Oliver is saying this, he's would likely drop a piece of equipment to manage in his own. Say, do you do you have any other information that might help us, Betty?
Well, there have tried to go out at night and see things, but we it so it should be easy to find what we're looking. Whenever they hear the movement or anything like that, there's nothing there. It seems as if a ghost is making a sound, or it's just something that can't be seen. Uh, we have found some holes that she like motions with her hands, like maybe like 2 or 3 feet, and she says that go down deeper than we can see. But other than that, just uh, there have been some remains found. I can point you in the direction of the fields where they were found, and people hearing strange noises and such. But we haven't had anyone come back that has gone out looking specifically for this.
Well, it appears your creatures could be underground.
She says, "Well, we did see the holes, but I just we've never dealt with anything like that around here before, so I'm not sure what it could be."
Well, I'm sure we can look around and see what it might be.
Um, we would very much appreciate that. I would not suggest going at night. That is when most of the attacks do happen. Um, but again, I am not one to tell you how to do your job, so you can go as you please. But we we've we've gathered what we could. If you are able to bring back proof of what is doing this, or uh, that you can capture it, even if it's a person or a beast, we can throw in a 3 room and board at this tavern. And she kind of motions her head towards the door. She goes, "My husband is the barkeeper here. We grow food for the tavern, and we have a bit of a farmer shop down in the market board."
Ah, honest work. Very good. seems like a easy enough venture.
Running a
kinda
tavern is
nods.
certainly hard enough work without other intrusions like this. Be happy to help.
She nods. She goes, well, then, as I said, I wouldn't suggest going at night, so I would be more than happy to show you where all of this happened in the morning. Uh, if you are set on going immediately, which again do not advise, uh, I can tell you where it is, but I would be able to show you better in the morning.
No, I think we can wait. Barnabas is a bit tired now.
He hasn't said anything because he fell asleep again.
Fair enough. She kind of looks back at you, Elbow. And she goes, "Are you sure he's up for this?"
Oh, he'll be fine. Don't worry about him. I've seen him at his prime, so I'm sure that he's more than capable now. Probably.
She kind of looks at you strangely at that, like in his prime, and she doesn't say anything, but she's just like, "Of course."
Of course.
Well, as I said, you will all have 3 rooms for tonight, and we can, if you would like, we can meet at sunrise tomorrow. If you have any more questions, head off.
Perfect.
She nods. She goes, well, feel free to use in here for as long as you need. I'll go out and get the rooms ready for you all, and get some meals prepared, and I'll see you in the morning. And she gets up. She walks by, nods at everyone, and says, and again, thank you. And she walks out, closes the door behind her, and she goes behind the bar and starts getting stuff together. So you all 5 are left in a room. Very it looks like there's literally just enough room for the 2 of them. It's the husband and wife. There's doesn't seem to be any stuff for children there, and they are pretty not poor, but kind of just getting by, it would appear.
So, do you think it's ghosts like she said?
No, I think it's the underground thing, like the guy, Dragonborn said. I'm Alba, by the way. I suppose I should introduce myself, Alba.
Oh, Oliver, it's a pleasure.
Pleasure. And she holds out her hand.
Oliver starts to move to take it, realizes he can't, and just nods a little sheepishly.
By the way, I don't think you'll need so much of that. What are you proficient in? Anything you can actually use?
Oh, honestly, a lot of this stuff I don't need. The man who sold me the armor seemed like he was eager to get rid of it, though, so I got it at a good deal.
Yeah, I might have something to help. If you do not mind, I could carry some of that for you.
Oh, yes. Here, hold on. Let's see. I don't need this, and Oliver will produce, let's see, a mace, a light crossbow, 20 bolts. I believe that might be it for stuff that he's willing to part with immediately if anyone wants or needs them.
Not the wizard.
Are you sure?
I will actually. I'll take your mace and I'll open up my backpack. I'll touch my backpack real quickly. Almost seems as if my gauntlets glow a little, and then I just start putting the mace. Just disappears. Then I take your crossbow. Same thing. Hilts as well. There we are. Just let me know if you need them. It'll be no problem. I'll get those for you.
Oliver at this point is just watching you wide-eyed, and it's like, yeah, sure, thanks.
Well, I should
yes, it was. Did I catch that right, Oliver? Yes.
Yes, yeah. And you are?
You don't know?
I'm sorry, I don't think I do.
Oh, well, it's been happening a lot in this town lately. My name is Rothgar. Ring any bells?
Does it ring any bells, DM?
Go ahead and roll a history check.
Awesome. I just almost went to roll all my dice that are right in front of me. Let's
Mhm.
see. What do I have on history? History right there is not very good, but better than nothing. Five.
Just so you know, on your click on the history, it'll roll for you.
Oh my goodness, can I? That would be so
Yeah.
much faster.
Yeah. Just make sure the yellow pencil is not highlighted.
Okay.
All right. 5. I mean, he was talking very loudly. He was bragging about himself out in there before. Maybe he is famous, but you have never heard of him.
I think I might have heard the name before, but I'm not sure.
Oh, well, but maybe you know the moniker the Iron Dragon. Famous pirate of the seas.
Oh yes, that one sounds familiar.
Ah. Yes, this armor is not just for show, of course, you know. This is my identity, my moniker.
It certainly stands out.
Well, that's one word for it.
Certainly one word for it.
I should
Anyway,
probably
let's
introduce myself as well. I am Gecko.
it's nice to meet you, sir.
Likewise.
It's funny how there's suddenly 2 Dragonborn in the party when I haven't met one in so long.
Any particular reason why it's funny?
Sorry you cut out a whole bunch there.
Yeah, I don't think that the growly voice is coming through too well.
I don't know how you're gonna roleplay for extended periods of time, tearing your throat up like that.
I mean, I can do it fine. It's just
Yeah,
a
it
bit
sounds
too
rough,
low.
man.
So you can ignore that comment. I need to come up with a new voice on the fly. 1 second.
Yeah, you're roboting again.
Just have robot voice.
I am
Yeah, there you go.
Dragonborn.
So as you guys have introduced yourselves, Barnabas just sort of kind of nonchalantly kind of just like moves he's kind of like leaning on his quarterstaff at this point. Just says, Barnabas Basilton, it's a pleasure.
Oh, and his owl is Coriander.
Yes, it's a wretched little beast.
Why
Oh.
would you say that? It is quite adorable.
Yes,
I
he
kind of like
is.
it.
Keen eyes.
He is very adorable. And Alba will take Coriander and put him on her lap and just start petting him.
So, what do you guys want to do? Do you want to sit in here and discuss anything? Do you want to head back out to the tavern? Like I said, it is already nightfall, so it is starting to get dark outside. So most businesses and such are closed. But you guys have anything else you could do?
I'll probably just follow the lead of the rest of the party.
Well, I am not the most knowledgeable of this land, of course. I'm not used to being landlocked. But given the mornings, perhaps we should wait until the morning and then we'll check out these holes Do any of you have any ideas of what it might be causing this ruckus?
Sounds like worms to me.
Well,
I would listen to Barnabas.
they seem like rather large worms.
Large worms indeed.
Especially if they're taking cattle and such.
Should be no problem for us, though. We'll be just fine.
Well, at least we know what your last famous words are going to be.
Ha, last words.
Artifice would all, or geez, Oliver would also chuckle at that in character.
I'll say after maybe about 10 or so minutes, you hear a small knock on the door again, and it is Allison. She comes in and just puts down a plate of not like a meal, but just of like things you could grab and snack on, and puts down a pitcher of wine and a pitcher of ale, and just hands out glasses and just again nods and gives you a bit of thanks and heads back out.
Thank you so much, Allison. You're such a gem.
She
Thank
smiles
you.
at you.
Thank you very much.
Aren't you talking differently already?
Yeah.
He'll find it eventually.
Yeah, she nods at all of you and gives you thanks and heads back on out. Oh, as she's walking out, she kind of catches herself. Oh, here, and she puts down keys. There is one key for each of you, so there would be 5 separate rooms.
Perfect.
Very
I didn't want to share with Barnabas. He will likely snore at night, I assume.
Well, for his age, it makes sense. It makes sense.
Don't mind sharing with Coriander, though, do I? And she just starts petting him again.
She will, after that, head back out, close the door behind her.
Oh,
and
one moment, ma'am.
Yes?
I saw there was someone performing here earlier. You wouldn't happen to have any instruments that we could use just to help lighten the mood a little before tomorrow?
She kind of looks. She goes, we don't keep any around here. Most people bring their own.
Oh, that's all right. I thought I should ask. Thanks anyway.
She nods and closes the door.
Well, you like a bit of music, do you?
Yes, I actually grew up in a tavern. I'm pretty good with the lute.
Well, it's a handy skill.
It certainly gets you a fair amount of free board.
Oh, I'll have to keep that in mind.
Definitely.
So, what are we waiting for? Let's eat.
Alba had already started.
I mean, yeah. And Oliver will just take a small amount of food and start eating.
I think you should eat more. You're kind of small, aren't you?
I'll get there. It's fine. I just don't want to take. Well, other people might need it.
Ah, well,
Oh no, eat up, eat up.
hey, growing lads need their food.
Oliver turns slightly bluer and takes a bit more of the food for himself and just starts to eat.
Barney, do you want some?
I'm fine, thank you.
No wine, no ale?
Upsets my stomach. I avoid this stuff.
You were much more fun when you were younger, you know.
He just sort of sniffs.
Well, I think I'll start on the wine. Anyone else like
no.
a glass?
Never touched the drink myself. No, it
Nah.
causes too many problems for many a seafood.
I started on ale, might as well stay on it.
I'll take a bit.
Fair enough. And Gecko will pour some wine.
So, is there anything you guys want to discuss, or should we get to the part where you're going to be going to sleep?
I imagine not much from my end, except maybe some more small talk, but that'd be about it.
Excuse me, Barnabas.
So just looks at you.
If you don't mind me asking, how old exactly are you?
You see, he stops for a second, kind of has to think. I believe 97.
I thought it was 98. Or was it 96?
I believe it's 97.
Well,
Ah,
bloody hell.
Very seasoned then.
You're older than I can probably live to.
It's certainly a long life for an adventurer.
No, I took a bit of time off and he sort of stops and thinks again. It's been about 60 years or so.
Getting back in the saddle then. Very good.
Oliver slowly sets down his drink. 60 years?
About that, yes. I became a teacher here for a time afterwards.
I see.
What do you teach?
And he sort of like pats his book. He's like, magic.
Well, that's rather impressive. I can't do it myself, but if you can, that's even better.
I also teach a little bit of history, or rather, I taught a bit of history. I didn't actually teach for 60 years, but I've been fully retired for
Well, it's a bit of fun for you then. Get back in the saddle and enjoy the world again while you have the time.
well, I have all the time in the world, don't I?
But of course.
Well, all of the time in the world until you don't.
I suppose that's true for everyone.
Immortal
I
until proven
suppose.
otherwise.
I like the sound of that.
And it's fun, even there's ways to get back to alive after being magic and no.
Yes. Many magics allow for quite a few fun things like that.
At this point, you guys hear a bit of a ruckus outside. Sounds like someone probably started a bar fight. Just you hear a couple like you hear impacts and probably some wood breaking here and there, a plate smash, a pitcher fall. It just sounds like there's a bit of a brawl going on.
Sounds interesting. I'll just stick my head out and see what's going on. Anyone else care to?
Sounds like a good time.
I'll
shove
poke my
it
head out
through
too.
and go out. I'm just kind of shoving through and going straight out.
Well, as you guys open the door and as Rothgar heads out, you guys see there are actually three different gentlemen fighting. One is a rather short, squat, with a large stomach, who is currently on the ground, with a younger gentleman standing over him that is in the process of being hit by a chair on the back from another guy. So it seems as if maybe one guy against two. It doesn't seem as if the guy with the chair was going after the one on the ground. And it just continues. Like there's a crack of the chair across his back. He falls down, and then these two start fighting each other.
Should we do something? Show of good faith and all?
I'm already running up that way. Gentlemen, what's the disagreement here?
I mean, they're kind of like on the ground, rolling around, wrestling, throwing punches here and there. They're not really paying much attention.
Gotcha. I'm gonna attempt to pull one of them off the other.
Go ahead and do a strength check.
Barnabas didn't leave the room, by the way. He stayed in there. He doesn't care about a bar fight.
You rolled a 16. I'm going to change your sheet so everyone will see your rolls.
Oh, oops, sorry about that. Let me do that.
No worries. You got it, or you want me to change it?
I can do that.
Okay, perfect. All right, so yeah, with a 16, you're able to the guy who had hit him in the back with the chair, actually, once they started fighting, he was the one who ended up on the bottom. So you are able to pick the guy up who was fighting the other two and kind of separate them a bit. And the woman Allison had already come in and was starting to try to push him away too. She kind of looks at you, gives you a bit of a nod. She goes, all right, take it outside, you two, take it outside. Out. And she starts pushing the other ones out that were on the ground that pretty much had lost. And the guy in your arms kind of just starts trying to shake free and kind of pushes you back a little bit. And if you let him go, he's going to start walking away.
Oh yeah, if he's ready to walk away, I'll let him go ahead outside.
Okay, yeah. So he heads out, and the other two have take a minute to kind of get up, brush themselves off, and head on out too. And you see Allison and her husband actually comes out to help too, just kind of picking up the broken pieces of glass and all that kind of stuff, just cleaning up and telling everyone, no worries, keep having a good time, and just kind of try to make it go back to normal.
I will now step out. I'll help them cleaning up. And as I'm picking up pieces, I'll be using Mending Cantrip to repair some of the crockery.
I will do the same as well.
Okay. The only thing that probably would not be able to be fixed would be the chair, since it broke into so many different pieces when he got hit with it. But the glasses, pitchers, stuff like that, you're able to repair. And they kind of look and say, haven't seen that before. Thank you.
But of course.
It's certainly a handy trick in places like this.
Indeed. Again, thank you. We're going to get back to the bar, and they head back, and everything starts heading back to normal. You kind of hear people are just out there. Everyone else seems to be having a good time. There are a few people that are a little bit too drunk. There are some people doing a bit of gambling. There's some people just, chatting loudly, eating, that kind of stuff. It seems like everyone's having a pretty good time now.
I'd like to take a peek outside to see where the gentlemen have walked off to.
You could go ahead and do a perception check. As you go out, you do see the other two that they're kind of walking. You hear a bit of them he took a sucker punch and this and that, just kind of making excuses. And they're walking down. If you walk out to the right, they're going down there. And after about 20 or so seconds, they take a little turn down an alleyway. And the other guy, when you got out, you just were able to see him walking into a house the opposite direction.
All right. Leave him to it and go back inside.
With a 22 though, as you're kind of doing that, and as you look back inside, you do overhear someone having a conversation. You don't catch everything of it, but you do hear something about the Turst Fields is having a bit of a problem lately, and people are blaming it on drugs or something of the sort, but you don't really catch everything from it since you weren't particularly paying attention to them.
Gotcha. I'll attempt to. It's maybe buddy up with the folks talking there. It's like, what's this? You say is having trouble here.
One of the guys nods at you and goes, "I just got back doing a bit of a caravan from there. They were talking about being overrun with drugs and such, and it's nothing they've seen before, driving people insane, making them attack others and such."
Hmm. Well, many substances can cause people to do some interesting things. It would not surprise me.
He kind of nods. He goes, "Yeah, you expect stuff like that in some of the worse off places, but Terrace Fields is always quite a nice area."
Well, the times might change. You never know. Sometimes all it takes is one band to come within the supposedly good place, honest place, and can cause quite a bit of ruckus.
Kind of nods and just keeps drinking, and everything else is kind of small talk, talking about how they're always looking for people to help them move into and from Turst Fields. Just just lots of like idle chit chat.
Oh yeah, I'll look about. See, do they happen to have anything? Just small things interesting.
Not really. They both seem to be they look like they're kind of like not the caravan runners. They're kind of there just to go along with it for protection. They don't like look very dangerous, but they look like they might be hired for some protection on some of the smaller caravans.
Oh, gotcha. All right then. I'll just head back. It's just ruckus is over. Ruckus is over.
That's good to hear.
Well,
And
Well,
I suppose it's time for bed. Barnabas, aren't you just gonna go sleep upstairs or something?
Yes.
Yes. I'll take Coriander with me. If you need him, you know how to call him.
I won't need him.
Oh, you poor bird. And she will go upstairs with Coriander.
Okay.
do you require any assistance getting upstairs, Barnabas?
I'm quite capable, thank you.
Fair enough. I'd thought
Oh,
I'd
very
offer.
Right. So what is everyone else planning on doing?
Oliver will head up shortly afterwards as well.
I'll be telling a few more tales to any poor soul that'll listen before meandering up myself.
I'll finish my wine, then head upstairs.
Okay. Sounds good. All right.
Yeah,
Yep. Good.
I was gonna say, and I'll see about taking any of the leftover food up with me.
The plate's still sitting there when everyone else walks out, so easy enough to pick up.
Yep, there we are.
Okay. All right. So everyone sleeps well through the night. The rooms are not the most comfortable most of you have stayed in, but they do the job. Um, in the morning, when you get up, you are already food cooking. As you all come down, there's not many people in the tavern. So you kind of have everything to yourselves. There's a wide open table in the middle with drinks already laid out. Like there's water, there's tea, there's everything there that you could want. And the two of the Allison and her husband are kind of just working on the food and getting everything ready for you guys. She goes, go ahead, sit down, help yourselves. I'll be with you in a minute.
Thank you
It's-
so much, Allison.
It smells wonderful.
She just nods and goes, "Well, we try to do our best. We produce all the food and everything ourselves."
But of
That's
course,
what makes it all the better.
So can Barnabas do like a nature check or something to see if he has any idea about like what these holes are?
Do a nature. Go for it. The thing that's throwing you off is the size she was explaining doesn't really seem right. It doesn't really fit any of the creatures that you could think of. Um, I mean, you have heard of some of the worms that could be around that size, but it doesn't sound like it would be a fully grown one. If it was, like, a fully grown one seems like it would be much bigger than that for like the width of a hole. So you're not sure if it's like she's giving you information that isn't correct, or if she maybe just hasn't seen it well enough, or but the size is not really matching up to you for what you were thinking originally.
Okay.
So good.
I was gonna say I'll see about taking some of the food. Just try to eat, not taking off helmet, just straight up, just kind of try and get it in there.
Fair enough.
Oliver will eat relatively quickly, and once he's done, start offering to help with things like cooking and dishes and such.
The cooking, she when you offer that, she says, "Well, we were just cooking for you now. We're not probably going to be open for another couple of hours. So if you want to help clean up, you can. But you're here to do a job for me, so you don't feel obligated."
Oh, it's no problem, really. And he'll at least start cleaning up.
She appreciates it again and thanks you. And maybe after about like 20-25 minutes of letting you guys sit there and eat, she'll look to you. Oh my god, I'm so bad with names when they're brand new. Oliver, she'll look to you and say, "All right, if you could join us back at the table, I was gonna get everyone ready to head out."
Of course. Go right ahead and do it. Just finish up whatever he's on. Rejoin everyone.
All right. So she gets everyone there. She kind of looks around. She goes, "All right, everyone full? Was everything okay?"
Yes, it was perfect. Thank you.
A fine meal, a fine. Yes, yes.
Well, the sun has been coming up. It should be fully risen by the time we get to where we're going. Would you like to go see where I was talking about?
But of course.
No
lead the
time
way.
to waste then. Let's go. And Barnabas just springs up out of the seat, with more vigor than you've seen so far.
All right. So yeah, she walks out, and as you guys get out, I didn't describe it earlier since we were all coming from different areas, but Whiterunn is very, very large. It has a population of just over like 26,000, but you are currently in the market ward, uh, like the northern side of it, and she from what she described to you, near one of the southern exits of the city is where her farm is, a little bit out of the city. But yeah, it's very nice buildings. It really is a sight to see if you've never been to a large city before. But she walks with you. She's kind of just having idle chit chat, talking more about what she has seen and giving you descriptions of what other people have told her and everything. And maybe after about 20 minutes of walking, you guys get out to the gate. She tells the guard what's going on, and they allow you guys to head out. She does tell you it's about a half-hour walk to her farm, and then the fields that it's happening in are pretty large. So she will take you for a walk around them and show you where the last attack or whatever was.
Ah, very good. Yes, we'll have to examine these holes there, see if we can discern what's going on.
Alba immediately, without even talking, just steps forward and starts investigating around.
Yes, what?
As she's doing that, I want to go over too and also ask if she has any ideas. And while doing so, I'm going to use guidance on her.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Just for a bit of a like image, you guys are going to be exiting from this gate down here, and it is about a 30-minute walk to the southwest. So it is going to be out in the fields over in this direction.
Gotcha.
So yeah, once you get there, do you want to start investigating like when you get to the area, or are you waiting specifically for the holes?
Alba would start a little bit earlier, taking a
Okay.
quick, close look at everything.
Okay. Well then I'll say do investigation unless you're like looking for tracks or something. If like that is what you want, do survival. But other than that, investigation.
With an extra D4.
You don't really see anything out of the ordinary. There are right now, like it looks like a regular field. Like you see the livestock where they have been walking. There are obviously bare spots where grass has been eaten and such, but you don't see any like anything that would be out of the ordinary for what you would expect to be here.
Alba just shrugs. Nothing seems weird, but I admit I'm not that great at tracking or that sort of thing. I'm better at seeing minute detail, things like that.
Go ahead.
Well, if you want, I can have a look around. I've travelled a bit, so I can maybe see if we can find any tracks.
Yes, good sir. What?
All right, then yeah, if you're looking for tracks, survival it is. Okay. You don't notice any abnormal tracks, but you do notice that it does look like some of the livestock may have like everything else seems like it's random. Like there's grazing in this direction, that direction. Just it kind of mostly corresponds with where the grass is. But there are a set of tracks that you do see that seem to be deeper. Perhaps like they were moving more quickly when they were made, and they seem to all be going in the same direction, like back towards where the stables are that you had already passed.
Well, there seems to be some heavier tracks heading back towards the stables, which are a little odd.
Like
As you
they-
say that, Allison comes up and she kind of looks and she goes, "Yeah, those are about the size of the cows. What do you think happened?"
Well, they're a little deeper, a little heavier, so kind of rushed, but which is different than, well, the rest of them which are grazing.
So they got spooked.
It's possible, but spooked towards the stables.
Well, the stables are a form of shelter, I suppose.
Yes, makes perfect sense. Perhaps we can go check them out, make sure everything's dandy.
I agree with that. If things are running back to there, and then we don't know where they're going missing, it could be something happening in the stable.
The woman does say that there haven't been any attacks in the stables. That it's mostly animals never making it back to the stables. Because as you're looking around, you can't even see the edges of where like the her farm ends. Like it looks like they have a very, very large grazing area.
Alba would look at Gecko and be like, is there a place where the deeper tracks just suddenly stop? Maybe they were taken to the air?
Is that something I could discern, GM?
Doesn't really seem so. I will say that it does seem like the tracks that like the ones you noticed were different are coming from a western direction and going east towards the stables.
Well, I can't say anything about like anything flying, but they seem to be travelling from west to east towards the stables.
And
That
when you
sounds
say
like-
that, Allison kind of looks and says, "Well, the holes that I saw were down this way," and she's pointing to a bit to the like slightly east, but mostly south.
Yeah, I suppose looking at the holes would be good.
Mm.
Yes, lead the way. Lead the way. It'll be least we could do.
So she'll head on down with you, and when you get there, she starts showing you the holes and stuff. She explains that there were 3 different cows that went missing in this area. They didn't find any sort of blood or remains or anything here. Some of the other farmers had talked about seeing remains on their property, but that has not happened so far on Allison's. And as you go and look at them, she was off on size a little bit, Barnabas. She was probably underestimating a little bit, maybe a foot or two. So the holes that you see are more 5 to 5.5 feet wide.
Can I do an investigation check on the holes? I think I'm gonna guess. I probably have the highest investigation of anybody.
Probably.
I would guess
You-
that too.
That said, you want some guidance on that?
Well, I would like advantage on that. Is what I would like.
Help
Well,
actions it is.
Is there anyone?
Oh.
Is there anyone who has proficiency that would have helped him?
Alba would have, and Alba actually has 1 point higher investigation.
Okay. Well, either way, yeah, I will say because I would expect Alba to be kind of with him either way. So I'll say yeah, you will have advantage, and yeah, these they're definitely a bit bigger than she said. As you kind of are examining and looking down, you see. Well, actually, I should say you don't see the bottom. You cannot see down to the bottom where it is. And just kind of like looking around for anything else around the area, you do see there are some, like, just from having walked through the fields and stuff, there's a difference between the areas where you've seen the animals have eaten, like where they've eaten the grass completely and it's like just dirt and soil. And you see some splashes around here of that kind of dirt and soil, but it does not appear to be from the cows or other livestock that have eaten it. There's something else about it that's a bit different. It appears that the grass is kind of like singed down, like maybe a fire or something had happened to it.
Oh well, what do you see there?
Barnabas kind of looks at Alba as like, what do you think?
Well, I'm not sure if there's any animals that have suddenly, I don't know, appeared while I was indisposed, but fireworms? Is that a thing?
Can I do a nature check to know if that's a thing?
Do it. I mean, you're sure there are some worms that have elemental properties to them. You know, there pretty much seems to be something with elemental properties for everything. But as far as like being around here, no, like that would be something that you would have definitely have heard of, and definitely not in the area at the very least.
Well, I have no idea what it might be, actually. But maybe we shouldn't tell everybody that.
Well, you already told me, and they're pretty close by, so they might have already.
Everybody do a perception check. Did you hear me?
Actually, yeah. You know what? We'll see if everyone knows that he doesn't know what he's doing right now. Well, yeah, Rothgar definitely heard you.
Of course.
Geckel did not, and Rhythm, you heard. I should say Oliver. You heard. He seems unsure, but you don't know exactly what he said. But he definitely does seem unsure.
Stroll up to him. It's up. So, perhaps fireworms or something of the sort?
Well, I don't believe it's fireworms, but I don't actually know what it is.
Ah, yes, yes. And about this whole, one sec. I'll take out a piece of copper. Um, lighten up the hole. It's a 5-foot radius light now. uh, what do we see here?
Okay. How far does the light go?
The copper is now a 5-foot radius light.
Okay, and you're just holding it.
No, I'm tossing it down.
Oh, you're tossing it down. You see it falling, and maybe after about, you would guess about 25 to 30 feet, it hits the bottom, and you can see it starts to curve down at a slope.
Well, folks, there's a bit of a curve there. Tunnels for us. Anyone care to go down and see?
Actually, easier would be, and she scritches at Coriander, who's been on her shoulder, and says, "Why don't you go down and see, love?"
Have them fetch my copper too, yes.
Only if he wants to.
So Barnabas has to do this, right?
Oh, yes.
So Barnabas sighs very deeply, and then he kind of puts his hand on Albus's shoulder so that you kind of see his eyes sort of glaze over as he starts to see through his obnoxious owl that he doesn't even like.
As the owl like hops to the edge of the hole, it's not large enough for him to fly down, so he kind of like starts hopping, and just because I want to, whichever one of you wants, go ahead and just roll a d20 for like just to make sure he can not fall down the hole.
Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, he does it well enough. He kind of like grips into the soft soil on the sides and is able to make his way down. And as he gets to the bottom, he's looking, and he's looking down, and it goes a bit of a ways and starts to level out a little bit more, and then you can see it just turn off to the right somewhere, and it looks like the tunnel just keeps going. Are you going to have him stay where he is, or are you going to have him come back up, go deeper?
I'm having to look for the copper, and then if he can grab it and then come back.
Yeah, it's still glowing. He finds it easily enough. He grabs it, and he has a bit of trouble getting back up, but eventually he does come up, and he drops a piece of copper out of his beak at right at the edge of the hole.
Ah, very good. Yes. Just pocket that again. Just have a glowing copper.
Yeah, Allison kind of looks and goes, how do you know what was down there?
a very smart owl. He sort of just winks at her, but he doesn't say.
She kind of nods at you, and she goes, well, I don't know what else I can show you. Is there anything else you need from me, or can I be heading back?
I think we're fine. I don't think there's much else that she can do until we get this figured out.
Yes, the only thing I could think of would be to go in the hole. See where this trail leads.
Yeah.
And as you say that, she kind of looks at you. She goes, I will definitely be leaving now then. I do not want to see if anything else besides you comes back out of that. And she kind of nods and she goes, well, if you get back before sundown, you can find me in the market ward. I'm a little bit a ways in, and she gives you a description of the streets and everything like that. If you just look for it's a smaller building with a bright yellow awning over the front door.
Very good. Well, I'm sure we'll find it.
Okay, and she gives you a nod and starts heading back.
So who wants to go down first?
Well, I mean, I could, but it's probably going to be a tight fit.
I mean, I guess I could. I can see pretty good in the dark.
Very good. We'll lower you down. I've got some ropes here. 1 sec, and I'll just start setting up a pipe and just knock it in the ground and tie the rope around it.
Oh goodness, I just realized, am I the only person with dark vision in this party?
Nope, I've got it as well.
No, the Ravenite does.
Okay.
And I'll take out that copper again. Just here, a little bit of light for you.
Oh, I can get that, and I'll snap my fingers and cast dancing lights and make 4 floating orbs around me, which I will send down ahead of me.
Oh, very good.
Yeah. So, you're gonna be climbing down?
Yes.
So what's the plan? Are you guys all going down? Or are you having him go to scout since he can see?
I will say that I am clanking my way down into the hole in scale mail.
Alba will go down out.
Yeah, I'll go down.
Right. Okay. Well, is scale mail heavy or medium?
Medium.
Okay, then you don't got to worry about it. So, when you're heading down, go ahead and roll a strength check to make sure you're able to hold on to the rope tight enough and get down.
Okay. Yep. Absolutely. Let's see. Let's see if I do it right this time. Strength check.
Would an athletics check be any better?
So yeah, we should do athletics. That would be good.
Hey, that's 1 point better because I'm a jack of all trades.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go. All right. Yeah, you are definitely able to make it down. You go down, and you reach the bottom. Alba, you do see him finish. He is all the way down.
Congratulations. Claps a little bit.
If you're following, strength check for you too.
I will step out of the way and kind of wipe my brow, glad that I didn't just wipe out in front of all these other adventurers.
Well, I will let you know now. If you beat a 12, you get down safely. So you're down.
Yeah, I was gonna go.
Okay.
Yeah. Watch the barbarian fail the athletics check.
Like that.
Yeah. You get about a quarter of the way down, and you hear something. You don't know exactly what it is, but you kind of just start looking around, and you keep going, and you just miss the rope, and you start falling. So, Alba, you look up, and there is a rather large dragonborn, maybe about 3 or 4 seconds away from impacting on top of you.
She moves out of the way.
Fair enough. So if you were 30 feet up and you want to... All right, so
I mean,
You fell just over 20 feet. You're gonna take 10 points of damage.
yeah, that's fair. If it makes it any easier for you, he's 6'8" and weighs 315. So he's
Yeah,
a portly dude.
I'm really glad I didn't try to catch that.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, you hear a very loud bang. You feel a bit of a shake on the ground from the impact. Nothing else really.
I'm gonna look in
Graceful.
the hole. Everything all right down there?
He's still alive. It was very graceful.
Well,
Very good.
that's one word for it.
All right.
What do you see?
Gethgal, are you all right?
Yeah, I've had worse.
All right. For now, I'm going to take my dancing lights. They have to stay within like 20 feet of each other, something like that. But I have 4 of them, and so I'm just going to send like a string of them down the tunnel as far as I can stretch them out to see what I can see.
Again, about 30, or well, I'll say about 20 feet out, it starts to level out, and then about another 10 feet after that, it takes a not very sharp but a gradual curve to the right.
It looks like it just turns up ahead. Should we keep going?
Yeah, so we have to do.
If it's turning, I suppose we should join you down there.
If you can help Barnabas down, I would greatly appreciate it.
Nope, I got it.
Are you sure?
So yeah, Barnabas just pulls out a spell book, and you see that he just starts mumbling a bunch of words and makes a few little hand motions, and then just walks down basically.
Ah, very good. Suppose I will also be going down, but this is not going to go.
Okay, well, you're also in chainmail, you said, right? So heavy armor?
I'm in heavy armor, yeah.
You are rolling at athletics with disadvantage.
Can I inspire him?
Can inspiration be used on
60-foot range, can be used on ability check.
Yeah, go for it.
So I'm going to say,
how are you doing this?
I'm pretty much just going to be like, I saw that Gekkel got caught up right around there. You might want to just watch out around that stretch of it.
Oh,
and just sort of like verbally guide you down.
So you will have, it's a D6 at this level, or is it a D8?
Yes, it is currently a D6.
Gotcha, okay. D6.
Okay, D6. You need at least a 2.
Oh,
that is unlucky. So, yeah, you are paying extra attention to where he says, and you get down past that, but then all of a sudden your foot just misses one spot where you're like kind of rappelling down, and you take a tumble too. Barnabas, you were the last one down to go before him, so as you're at the bottom, you already did get to the bottom, but you look up. Make a dex saving throw. Okay, yeah. You have not seen an old man move this quickly in a long time. He pops out of the way, kind of like using the spider climb to like walk up around the tunnel going down the other direction, and gets out of the way. And you also are going to take 8 points of damage from falling.
It's good to know all dragonborns are this graceful.
Land legs are just not used to this. I'm used to a nice sway.
Okay. So you are all down there. Everyone gets back up. This is a bit of a tight area. Like I said, it's probably about 5 feet around, so it's mostly going to be single file right now.
I guess I am in the lead with the lights far enough ahead of me that I am not in the light.
Okay, I gotcha. It's a what, 20-foot light
So
radius?
each one has a 10-foot
Okay.
radius, and they all have to be within 20 feet of at least one other one. So I can make a
Okay.
string of like 4 of them that'll light up
Okay.
like
Perfect.
80 feet of tunnel.
Right. Works for me. So yeah, you are definitely able to see down to the corner and around. Are you guys gonna start walking?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna take a deep breath, guidance myself, and try to do it quietly.
Is guidance able to be self-cast?
It is.
Oh yeah, you can give yourself guidance.
Okay.
So I need a stealth check at disadvantage. Stealth. 8 altogether.
All right. All right. So yeah, you are moving. If everyone else is gonna follow him, go ahead and do stealth checks as well. And I will say before you start moving down, you can kind of like move around a little bit in the area you're in to change the marching order if you want to. So is there any specific order you guys want to go in?
If someone wants to go ahead of me, I'd like that.
I can if you want.
I can keep the lights going.
Yeah, I'll send Gecko to the front.
Okay. So it'll be Geckel, Oliver,
And then Alba.
Alba.
And then Barnabas.
Okay. Barnabas.
I'll bring up the rear.
Sounds good. All right. So Geckel, as you're going down, after it hits the corner, maybe about another 40 or so feet ahead of that, you see it start taking another decline.
Is it a steep decline or a...
It's hard to tell from the distance you're at. If you want to get a little bit closer, you could probably get a better look.
Yeah, I will, but before I head off... Well, it seems it's... gets a little... takes a bit of a decline. So, just be careful.
Right. I'll pass it down the line.
And yeah, as you get up, go ahead and roll a perception check. I'll say it takes about you getting maybe 10 feet away from it to notice that this is it's less of a decline and more of like a drop. It seems to be going straight down again.
I will stop immediately.
Okay.
Well, it's not a decline, it's a straight drop, so if you can send your dancing lights further down.
I think I can. Let me give it a shot. And I will send the 4 lights down slowly. The furthest one can be up to 120 feet from me.
So you'll be able to see 120 feet away.
Yep.
So technically 130 since it's a 10-foot radius.
Yes.
Okay. Are you going to go approach and look down the hole?
I will get down on hands and knees and carefully go over to the hole so I don't fall in and peek over the edge.
All right. Go ahead and do a perception check.
Perception.
You cannot see the bottom. It is going straight down, and it is further than 130 feet away, and it is not the bottom yet.
My lights can't reach the bottom. That's gotta be... I certainly wouldn't want to fall.
Well, one second. I'll pull out that coin again. Just toss this down.
I'll take it and just drop it gingerly over the edge.
It goes down. You see it fall past your lights. You see a bit of light keep going further down until that eventually is gone too.
I think I lost your coin.
Ah, very good. Well, that's a rather deep hole.
Agreed. While I'm right here, can I check out like the walls of this tunnel? Are they like how do they look like they were created? Like is this like a rough tunnel? Does it look like something like specifically cleared it out? Is it smoothed off? Is it look like burrowing? You know, all that
Do a nature
jazz.
check.
Nature.
It definitely seems as if it's burrowing. You do notice that it while it is smooth, like it kind of looks like, well, not smooth, it's more even, but there are like, breaks and stuff where it looks like, soil is just falling apart. It's definitely burrowing, and I would say this one with an 11, you're not able to tell exactly how old it is, but it doesn't seem like it's been disturbed in maybe 2.5 weeks.
It doesn't look like too much has actually been through here recently. Did she say that there were other holes too?
Yeah, she did say there were other holes. These are just the ones that from when everything was starting. Like there were these ones, and then she told you of at least one other set that was farther to the direction that the tracks were running away from.
We might want to go see if we can find some other ones, because I don't think we're going down from here unless, I mean, Barnabas, unless you can do the walk down thing for a really long way.
Or just try sending Coriander down. I'm sure this lovely bird will tell us if he sees anything.
I can do either. I don't really know which.
Hey,
Anybody would
that is
prefer.
your choice.
Spider climb lasts for an hour, so I can still do it.
That and the range on the owl, if you want to see through its eyes, I think it's got a max range of like 120 feet, which is the same distance as the lights.
Oh yeah. So no, yes. If you can just walk down again, that shouldn't be too bad. Perhaps when down there, you could pick up that copper.
Yeah, he will walk down.
Okay.
Good.
Ooh, go ahead.
Good luck. Don't die.
I'll try to keep the lights going ahead of him for as far as I can so he can see where he's going before he gets there, but obviously he's going to reach the end of that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, about to where the end of where you could see. So Barnabas, what do you want to do once you get to the darkness? Because you not seen in the dark.
I will get the item that you just gave me. I will use my lantern.
Okay. All right. And that is what, an extra 40 feet?
30 feet.
30. Okay. So
30
yeah.
bright, 30 dim.
So if you are at the end of where he was able to see with his light, and you stay there for a second, you can see about a total of 160 feet down so far, and it still appears to be going.
All right, I'll go back up.
Okay.
Tell everybody that this is not the right way.
Okay, let's go look down another hole.
All right.
Very well.
I'll move the lights up and again just keep them ahead of the party. As I'm assuming we just reverse marching order.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely
and
fine.
so that everyone else
alright.
can see.
Yep. You get there. The rope is still there. You're able to all climb. You get back up into the field, and Geckel, where you are now, it would be a bit to the north and to the west where you originally saw where you would assume the tracks were leaving, like headed away from.
Okay, so we'd obviously have to go into the south and east direction then.
Well, the one you are at, like when you originally saw the tracks, you have already traveled south from there, so you probably are a bit too far south. So you're gonna need to go a little bit to the north,
Okay.
and then that direction.
Then I will attempt to lead in that direction until someone falls down a hole.
I'll let the
Alright.
lights wink out.
Okay. All right. So, go ahead and do a survival check to see if you could pick those tracks back up. Takes you a little bit of time. You kind of got you thought you knew it well, like had a good enough idea to just go to the direction to where you would assume she was saying these holes were, but you kind of got off the path, so you end up retracing your steps and head back to the original ones that you saw and going that way. And after I'd say you guys left at sunrise, it would probably be about 8:30 to 9 in the morning by the time you off in the distance you start seeing a bit more of the disturbed earth. You guys want to approach? Do you want to look around from here? What do you want to do?
I'll take a look at the disturbed earth, see if I get any inclination what's going on with it.
Are you moving up to it, or are you going to look from where you are?
Oh, that's a loaded question, isn't it?
Well, I'm kind of deciding if you're doing investigation or perception.
Oliver would probably go do it from where he is to be safe.
Okay, then we will do perception in that case.
All right. Perception.
Yeah, you see them. There seem to be more clumps of holes here, though. It's this one you could see from where you are at least 3 holes, and one of them looks pretty big.
Bigger than the other two?
Yes.
Okay. Looks like we got some more spelunking to do.
Ah, very good. Maybe, can you call up those lights again?
Oh, yeah, of course. And I'll
Send
just...
them down before we,
All right. Which one do we want to start on?
Well, you guys are approaching the holes now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So as you get closer, there are actually 2 other holes that are a bit behind them too. So there is a total of 5 holes, with one being probably double the size of any of the other smaller ones.
Wow.
Maybe the largest.
I'd concur.
Okay.
All right.
Well, there's 5 holes and 5 of us. Why don't we all split up?
That would be stupid, Barnabas.
Yes, it was a joke.
Perfect.
You never split the crew. No.
I mean,
Crew
we would
stands
get done
together.
faster.
A crew stands together.
It seems that none of you have a sense of humor. I will take note of that. And you can see he actually gets out a little notebook and starts writing.
All right. As you guys are approaching them, you do notice that there seems to be, like, on the ground around the largest hole, there is a bit of a trail of blood.
Yeah, that's definitely the one we should check.
Is that trail of blood?
I'll call up the dancing lights and start sending them down and see what we see.
I'm going to go ahead and move you guys to a map to give you a better representation of where you are.
Awesome.
Can I do a nature check on the...
Yeah. So, yeah, the largest hole is in the middle. It definitely appears to be, I mean, just like I would say your standard blood. You would guess it's probably from one of the bit of livestock. You could tell that there is a bit more like of a puddle in this area, and it seems that it was dragged down into the hole.
Oh, yes. Oliver, what do you see down there?
What do I see down there? I'll go again carefully up to the edge, same way, send the lights down, see what I can see.
Alba takes a step back.
So you're sending them down,
Yep.
and it gets to be you could get to what 130 feet, you said, right?
130 altogether.
Okay. All right. After a few seconds, when you're sending them down, you start hearing movement. You start hearing like the churning of soil. The ground is starting to vibrate a little bit.
Ooh. As
And-
soon as that ground is vibrating, I'm like scrambling back to my feet, backing away from the hole at least a little bit, and letting the lights go out and just be like, I heard something moving.
And God.
Well, something moving. I'll pull out my pistol.
And out of the three holes to the top right, the bottom right, and bottom left, and the largest hole in the middle, you guys see what appear to be large insectoid type monsters coming from the hole. They have very slender limbs with sharp claws, and their mandibles look like they could probably fit your arm in them. And that is what you see pop out. I will go ahead and it looks mostly like that.
Ooh.
Fun times.
And
Are those the murder hornets? Did you guys read about those?
Yeah.
That is the funny part is when that's not even a big story in the year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see if I can remember how to do all this. There we go. Everyone, when you roll initiative, make sure your token is clicked on. And while we're getting set, it's almost halfway through. I'm gonna go grab a drink and everything before we start up combat. So if anyone else wants to, we'll take a quick 5 minutes.
Cool.
Sounds
Yep.
good.
Be right back.
Knew it. Why'd it have to be these things?
You worry too much. Yeah, I like how the 14 hit point wizard is surrounded by 3 large bugs.
Oh
Mm,
yeah, it'll go well.
yeah.
I spider climb. I will climb on your back.
You might as well.
Nah,
Let me make sure I got this right. So, Gekko is a barbarian.
Correct.
Barnabas is obviously a wizard. Rothgar's an artificer, and Alba's a rogue.
Yep.
Awesome.
All right, and I am back as well. Is everyone else back, or are we waiting for someone?
I think we're good.
I think we're good. Yeah.
Yes, I
Right.
believe.
All right. Well, in that case, all right. Wow, who would have thought the rogue goes first?
Yep.
Yeah. So you can go ahead, and what do you want to do? These 4 things have all just popped up. Not really making much sound aside from like the clicking of the mandibles and such, but they are probably they are about the 5 feet wide for the holes, and they're probably standing about 6 feet tall.
Okay. Without any kind of fear, Alba immediately pulls out her dual rapiers and then 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 runs over here, whacks at that one twice with rapier. If it rolls out with rapier. There we go. And offhand.
That first one hits, as well as the second.
And
So-
then sneak attack.
So that is 14 damage, right?
Yep. And then she hops back 1.
Okay. All right. Yeah. You actually take off one of its claws, and it is kind of sitting there, hurt looking and very angry. Okay. Rothgar.
I will take my pistol and shoot the same one Alba just did some damage to.
Okay. That does hit. You didn't roll a dice for your damage.
Not. Oh, darn it.
It only gave you your +1 from Dex. If you want to just roll whatever the dice would be regular,
Yep,
and then
that's what I was just
fix it
looking
up
up
after.
there. Yep. Okay, there it is. So 9.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that one's looking
Sorry,
pretty
no,
hurt.
that'd be I'm sorry. So that's just. Is that just for the dex there?
Yep. So you just put the D8 or D10 in there.
Yep. So yeah.
All right. So another
It's
9
actually-
points of
no,
damage.
my pistol's actually +1 actually. I'm using my tinkered one, so that'd be 10.
Okay. This one is looking pretty hurt. Still standing, but definitely hurt. And it is currently that one's turn. Now, it's looking around, and these are not very smart creatures. It's going to go after the person closest to it. So Gekko, and
Yes.
take a bite at your waist. 14 to hit.
That will miss.
Okay. Yeah, and it will just stay there. The next one is the one up here. Again, going to the closest, Alba.
Yep.
It is going to try to take a bite at you. Does a 17 hit?
17 is her armor class.
Okay. You take 8 points of slashing damage
Okay.
and 3 points of acid.
Minus 11. Okay.
And you see whatever, not your armor, but whatever clothing you have on there, it's starting to kind of deteriorate away from the acid.
Okay.
Gekko.
Well, these things are clearly not friendly, considering they're trying to attack us. So I would like to drop into my rage.
Alrighty.
And I would like to, recklessly, because it's just going to be funny, like to try and chop this one who tried to bite me in half.
Okay. That is the one that's already looking pretty hurt, too. A 15 will hit. Doing 12 damage.
Yeah.
And it actually just falls.
I'll take it.
All right.
How's
So
that?
yeah, this one you kind of cut across the torso, and just a lot of nasty, disgusting bug innards drop out and land on your feet, which pretty sure you're angry enough that you don't mind right now.
Yes, I've had worse on me. But as that goes down, I'll just swivel behind me and go towards the next one. And that is my turn.
Alrighty. Well, the one you just approached, it is his turn. And he's actually going to stand up on his two back legs, and you start hearing, like, it sounds like gagging a little bit, and he is going to go ahead and try to spray you with acid, as well as, does he have a line on it? Yeah, as well as Rothgar. So I need both of you to make a dex saving throw.
I currently have advantage due to my rage, I believe. No, my danger sense.
Yep. Okay, you both pass. So you're going to take half damage, so you're only going to each take 4 acid damage.
Would I take quarter due to being a bear?
Yes.
So I
Yes,
take
you would.
2.
Yes, you will take 2. Okay.
Also, because I've just taken damage from a creature within range of my great axe, I shall use my vengeful assault.
Let's do it.
So I get to make a free attack once per short rest.
Alrighty.
Would you allow reckless, considering I did reckless on my main turn?
The way I look at it is, if you have already taken your turn and you already were reckless, then it will continue through to your next turn.
Okay,
Because
so
I'll have advantage on you until your next turn anyway.
perfect. I thought I'd just confirm that anyway.
Yep. Okay. And that one takes a chunk of 8 damage.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. All right. And right now, you guys start hearing more rumbling. Not in many directions. It mostly seems to be coming from a central area, but it's louder and more of a vibration. And Oliver, it is your turn.
All right. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use my action to cast Bless. And I'm going to target Alba, Gekkel, and Rothgar. So each of you guys, every time you make an attack roll or a saving throw, get to add a d4 to it, as long as I maintain concentration. And because I am an order cleric, hey, Alba, you want to use your reaction to stab it?
Sure, that would be lovely.
Go for it.
Rapier.
Okay. You hit it for 8 more points of damage.
I think she gets sneak attack as well.
Isn't sneak attack once per turn?
Yeah, but
It is once per turn, but it's not her turn anymore.
it's like when you can do it with rogues and battle masters with the.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Direct
yeah.
attacks.
I'm thinking. I forgot she. Yeah. So, yes.
I take it, Alba, you're a swashbuckler?
Yep.
Okay.
Well,
Nice.
actually, if she uses it, then that would mean she can't use it on this upcoming turn. Or because she used it on her previous turn, which would last until next turn. So one way or the other, she's going to miss one of them if she uses it now.
No, I'm fine using it right now.
Okay. Okay, so that is 17 points of damage. And yeah, that one, it took a good chunk out of it. It is very angry again. And now-
Not done my turn.
Oh, yes, you are not.
It was just my action. I'm also going to inspire. Let's say Gecko. So Gecko, you can have another D6 inspiration dice that you can use on any attack roll or saving throw or ability check.
Awesome.
And then I'm going to move 5,
Okay.
10, 15, 20. I'm going to move to about there.
Okay.
And then end my turn.
All right. Okay, so now it is this other one's turn. And this one will approach you, Hrothgar, as well. And it, once again, is going to go ahead and try to spit some acid at you and Barnabas. So, dexterity saving throw from you two. Okay, it was actually an 11. So, Barnabas, you take 4 damage, and Hrothgar, you take 8.
Hrothgar, don't forget to add your bless to your roll.
Oh, nice. Yes.
Well, it would have
Well,
made it an
yeah.
11, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'll make it no matter what. So, but yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So,
Alright.
how much was? Yeah, 8.
So yeah, you're gonna take 4 there because you got the
4,
half
yeah.
now. All right. So, Barnabas, you are currently a little bit wet with acid, although you dodged most of it. But yeah, not the nicest thing you've had happen today.
All right. I'm actually going to move up here behind Gecko. I am going to cast Magic Weapon on him as my bonus action. And then as my action on that guy, I will cast its cantrip, so...
All right, yeah, Rob, there goes another modifier for you.
Let me just add another one to the sheet.
All right. So it must make a Constitution saving throw.
Or take a whopping 1 damage.
It rolled a 19. Okay, so yeah, so it succeeds. Is that where you're going to end your turn?
Yep.
Okie dokie. Alba, back to you. The one in front of you has a wound in it and is still bearing down on you.
Yep. So she will whack with whack and also D4 for the first one. And then 5.
Miss it. The first one still misses.
Okay.
The second one does hit.
And
So
she
that-
runs off.
Okay. Yep. So Hrothgar. And just to keep you all updated, you are still currently hearing all the rumbling and feeling the vibrations in the ground as well.
Gotcha. Well, since I now have this wonderful thing in front of me, I'm gonna put away my pistol for a second. I'm gonna take out some of my tinker tools there. And I'll attempt to kind of just take the hammers there, start to almost seems to build something, and suddenly object in my hand just pops, and I cast Thunder Wave.
Okay. That is...
Everything within 15-foot cube of me has to make a Constitution saving throw. If they succeed, if they fail, they take 2d8 thunder damage or are pushed 10 feet away from me.
Okay. Well, the good news for you is it failed.
Very good. So...
So 9 points of damage.
So, yep, 9 points of damage, 10
And it's
feet
pushed
away.
10 feet. Okay.
Yep.
There you go.
Then, let's see here. Yep, I'm going to need to one, two, three. Do, do. That'll do there, just there.
Yeah.
And
It-
that'll be my turn.
Okay. This one is dead, and now it is the one's turn. Okay. It will. All right, you are still the closest to it. It is coming after you again.
Ah,
And this one, let's see. Nope. So it is going to go ahead and take a bite at you.
bite.
Ooh, it would have been good damage, but I rolled an 8 to hit.
Nope, nothing.
Okay, yeah. So it just kind of stands there and is moving back and forth, waiting for your next attack. In Gekkel.
Well, now that I'm feeling infused with both divine and magical energy, I shall attempt to cleave another bug.
Okay. Yeah, that definitely hits. For 12 damage, and you have the magic weapon, all that added in already, right?
Yeah, so I've got the D12 plus 4 for strength plus 2 rage and 1 magic.
Okay, perfect. All right, yeah, it takes another big chunk out of it. You gash into its torso, and it is just spurting out blood and nastiness.
Oh, I wanted a shower, but yeah, okay.
You staying where you are?
Yeah.
Okay. It does not get it back, so he's going to go ahead and try to return the favor to you with a bite. A 16 to hit.
A 16 will hit.
Okay. You are going to take 4 halved for slashing damage, so 2 slashing, and actually rolled pretty decently on the acid, so you're going to take 3 acid damage. That's already halved.
Okay.
Okay.
That's still look okay.
And you guys start hearing the like soil churning and digging and all that getting louder and louder, and all of a sudden you see another one of these creatures pop out that is just about twice the size of these ones. And it pops out. It's not going to have an action because it used dash to get all the way up here. But yeah, this thing is easily double the size of any of the other ones. And it is your turn, Oliver.
Nope. Want nothing to do with that. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try to hit the new big one with my Ray of Frost cantrip.
Okie dokie. 17 does hit.
Okay. Oops. It should only be... That must be in there wrong. It should only be 6 cold damage.
Okay.
But its speed is also reduced by 10 feet until my next turn. Till the start of my next turn.
It is slow.
All
right.
From there, I'm going to move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Third. I'm going to move to here. And then let me check a range. Who is... You are just too far away. I can give it to you, though. Hey, Gekkel. You can also have a healing word, which is a D4 plus 5. Let me find it here. Healing word.
Gecko feels so special. He's getting all the magic.
Come on. Oh, I don't have the macro set up for it. Let's see. You are one. Roll 1d4. 8 points of healing,
Sweet.
and you can use your reaction to make an attack with a weapon if you want.
Sure.
Never gotta ask a barbarian that.
Yeah. Let me just keep
If
recklessly
you like.
attacking everything.
Okay. Okay, yeah. You don't even get anything special. That one's dead. I'm not gonna explain anything.
I feel so invigorated with all this magic.
Yeah, you actually take that one. You aim right for what would be the closest resemblance of a neck, and it is just severed right in the path of your blade.
Yay!
And that is my whole turn.
Okay, yeah, that's where you're saying you use all your movement and stuff.
Yeah, as far as I'm gonna go.
Okay. All right. This one, Alba, is going to move up towards you.
Yep.
Let's see. It does not, and it is going to go ahead and take another bite at you. This one is an 11 to hit.
Misses.
Okie dokie. Barney, or wait, Barnabas. Don't call him Barney.
So the big boy, I will move over here a little bit, and then I will cast my gravity on it.
Gravity in the 10-foot sphere.
Nice.
Ooh.
All right, so it's a con saving throw.
Yes.
It rolled a 6. So it takes 8 damage. And what's the effect?
Speed is halved until the end of its next turn.
Okay.
So I don't know
which
if like slow spells stack, but
Yeah, I'm gonna stack it. So it's already minus 10, so it'll be half of that.
Yeah, it's as long as it's not the same spell twice, they stack.
Okie dokie. Well, this is going to be a very slow creature. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't. Were you done? Are you moving or anything?
I'm good.
Okay. Alba,
Okay.
we are back to you.
Alba,
You have this new one up in your face.
she's gonna slice at it very poorly. I'll roll the d4 anyway, just in case.
The 12 actually just misses. It's a 13.
And then just gonna doop-de-doop. She'll run down here.
Okie. All right. Rothgar.
All right. Oof, not looking good. We shall. I'm gonna take out my wood carving tool and seem to almost just take a block of wood and carve out just a tiny wooden shield. Seems to have like little tripod legs with it behind it for some reason. I'll just move over here, and now my my shield is actually a protector turret. I can now on bonus action activate it, and myself and Geckle will be gaining D8 plus my 3 temporary hit points. So let me roll a D8 here.
Does it catch Barnabas as well?
It's just a 10-foot. Yeah, you moved right away from me before I got to do it there. You should have stayed put.
He is 10 feet away.
Oh, it is? Okay, so yes, you will. So that's 11 temporary hit points for all of us.
There you go.
And then I will just be staying put here because I do not want to. No, you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna try then chance it with the rest of my movement to leave this thing's range.
11 hit points is almost double the point.
That's another Barnabas.
Yeah, I only have 14 to start with.
It rolled a 17 for hit.
17 hits.
Okay.
You know what? Shield. I'll do shield.
Okay.
Yep.
Is the is that turret thing a spell?
No, it's a construct. So
Okay.
now I am holding I made a tiny one, so I'm literally just holding onto it. Just
Okay.
uh,
Works for me. All right. So you you do not take any of that damage. And that your full movement, and it is now that one's turn. It is going to, again, they're not smart, not going to flank. He's just going to try to bite you. Actually, wait, hold on, let me see your guys first.
Well, I'm going to do every attack recklessly, so you're always going to have advantage against me.
That's the
Ooh,
kind of
this
barbarian
one
I
is
like to
a
hear.
19 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Okay, so you will take, this is already going to be halved, 3 slashing and 3 acid damage, so you'll take 6 total.
Awesome.
All right. It is now your turn again.
As it takes its bite, I will attempt to swivel around and lop off a head. It's for 28 to hit.
Yeah.
Low damage with an 8.
Alrighty.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not very bonus action heavy, so 1 hit and done.
Well, that is mine. Okay. Oh, the one in front of you is looking pretty hurt. So that is good news.
Oh, I'll take it.
And this one, whose turn it would be, is also gone. And now the big one comes out. So, with its speed being halved, well, minus 10 first, and then halved, it can move a big total of 15 feet. So,
yeah, it should
Thank
come
you.
to me.
so that's 5, 10. Yeah, that's what it's going to do. That's the only one it could reach. Yeah, it is going to go ahead and take 2 bites at you. The first one is a 17 to hit.
That'll hit.
Okay, so you will take 6 points. That's already half. So it was 13 slashing and 2 acid, so that's reduced to 6 and 1.
Yep.
And then the second is a 14 to hit.
That will miss.
Okay, it snaps at you and you dodge out of the way. And it is your turn, Oliver. So now okay. Barnabas, how long does your thing last on it?
I think it'll see the end of its next turn.
End of his next turn, yeah.
Okay. So that yours would be gone, and after this turn, unless Oliver puts it back on, it would be completely free. Okay.
I am gonna try something here. Make sure I have the range for it for a second. I do. I am going to target. So my thing is already worn off too. At this point, because it's my turn again. I'm going to target the big one with Dissonant Whispers.
Okay. That is that charisma?
That
save?
is a wisdom save.
Wisdom. Okay.
And again, I didn't set it up because I know how to do this now. It has to beat my spell save, which is a 16.
Yeah. It does not beat it. Rolled a
Okay.
9.
It then takes 11 psychic damage.
Okay.
And it has to use its reaction to move as far as it can away from me.
Okay.
Which also provokes attacks of opportunity.
Okay, so it has to. So it'd be 5, 10, 15. 20. All right, right there. So, Geckel.
Whoop.
Okay, then. So that is 22. Yeah, this thing is starting to look pretty hurt. Big chunk of flesh missing after that hit.
After that, I'm going to move. No, I'm not. I'm going to use my bonus action to bless Alba as well. Just telling her, keep an eye on that little one there. So she
You
now
mean
has a D6.
Inspire,
sorry.
right? Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
inspire. So you have an extra D6.
Thumbs
And
up.
then 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. That's my turn.
All right. It is that one's turn, and be careful. You should, because he is going to run at you, Alba.
Yep.
And he is going to take a bite. That is a 22 to hit.
Yep.
Okay. It is 7 slashing and 3 acid.
Okay. Alba's looking pretty hurt at this point.
Ooh,
Mhm.
yep.
But that is his turn, or its turn, I should say. And Barnabas, up to you.
I probably should have taken more offensive spells.
Hindsight's a bitch.
I'm gonna come here and I'm gonna do my awesome little D4 sapping sting on the one that just attacked Alba.
Okay. That is
Ooh.
a Constitution save. It rolled a natural 1. So it takes 2 points of damage. And is knocked prone.
Yep.
All right. Just so I will remember, prone.
I mean, you say that, but you've now just given the swashbuckler rogue advantage.
Well,
Yep.
only because it
Mhm.
failed. I mean, it goes back to when I was playing Shieldmaster, right? Like, I never got to push stuff down, so maybe I'll push stuff down, but it won't do any damage.
All right. You staying there?
Yep, that seems far enough away from everything for now.
Okie dokie.
Of course, I'm
Alba.
standing by the hole, so
This thing, after a few words and hand gestures from Barnabas, is kind of giving you an opening that you see.
Cool. She will say, "Awesome, Barnabas." Turn around to. Actually, she will just be right there. And then. Whack, whack.
Okay, both hit.
And sneak.
All right, so that is 19 points of damage. This one looks extremely, extremely hurt. Very, very close to being done. But you staying or you moving further away?
She will stay right there.
Okay. Rothgar.
All right, I'm going to take out my hand axe and approach this one right here. Yep. And we're going to take a swing.
Okie dokie. Four points of damage it is.
There we are.
Okay. Again, this one is also looking very hurt. Any more movement? Anything bonus?
No. No bonus for now.
All right. It is the one that you just hit. It was already facing him, so it's going to go ahead and bite him again. Geckel, this is at you. A 12 to hit.
That will miss.
Okay. Go ahead. It is your turn.
I'm just going to measure something up. 1 second.
Oh no.
I would like to quickly just pull out one of my side hand axes and recklessly throw it at the one next to Alba.
I'm not extremely familiar with barbarians. You can recklessly throw shit?
Because it's a thrown weapon, it is strength based, so
Okay.
yeah, he can.
Nice.
So is
Yeah,
it
do it.
because it's still in the far range, it'll be just a straight roll, but I'll be using my
Yeah,
inspiration
okay,
die.
yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't got to worry about it. 13 is its armor class, so it hits anyway. Actually, it's weird. Well, yeah, no matter what you got, you would have rolled a 13 because it's prone. You would have had disadvantage, but yeah. So yeah, you hit it, and that actually is enough. It sinks into its back of its head, and it falls down dead.
Oh, that was amazing.
Well, I've done it before, and unfortunately that was my action. So I am just going to keep staring at the one trying to eat me.
Okie dokie. And the one that is behind you is once again going to move up. And you, as well as the little one and Rothgar. I need dexterity saves from all of you.
Advantage. 18.
Also D4s from Bless.
Yeah, I've already got that included.
Okay.
Because you can add modifiers to the on
60.
your sheet to do all that.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Okay, well, the one that was in between you two is now dead because it failed.
Okay.
You guys both, you rolled a what? A 15 or an 18, you
Mine's
said?
a 16 for me.
A 16, and what was yours, Rob?
And 18.
An 18. Yeah, you both pass. So instead of the full damage, Rothgar, you are going to take 8, and Gekkel, you'll take 4.
God, Totem Barbarians are so much fun.
They
And
are.
then for its second action, it is going to take a bite at you, Gekkel.
That's fine.
Rolling a 17 to hit.
That'll hit.
Okay. So that will be 8 damage total. That's already halved.
Sweet.
Okay. And Oliver, it is your turn.
At this point, I think I am just going to try to use Ray of Frost on it again,
Okay.
which is still going to have the wrong modifier. Misses anyway.
Yep.
From there, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. That's as far as I can get. And I'm not going to hand out any inspiration this turn, so that's my turn.
Alrighty. Barnabas.
All right, I'm gonna magnify gravity the big dude again.
Okay. It is a con save.
Am I
Which-
in that?
You don't have to be, because I can put it where I can put it in 10-foot radius wherever I want.
Okay.
So I can put
So
it.
yeah,
above it.
he could put it up here.
Oh
Yep.
no, I'm just saying if you do hit me,
Alright.
I'm not going to be too marvered.
Yeah, but you aren't by default.
So yeah, it rolled a 9. So that is going to take 4 points of damage, and its movement speed will be halved. All right. Anything else? Movement?
Nope.
Okay. Alba.
Okay, Alba is going to cunning action dash away over here, whack it with her rapier,
Okay.
and use D4 and use inspiration.
All right. That just hits.
Sweet. And
Alright.
then her sneak attack. Yay! And then
12 points of damage.
Wow.
All right, nice.
run that way.
Okay, very nice. It is on you, Rothgar.
All right, I'm going to. Let's see. Step up. Let's see. 10. There. No, you know what? Let's just get up all in this thing. We're gonna take another swing with the hand axe there.
All right. That one does hit, doing 6 points of damage.
All right, and then bonus action to use the once again shield seems to just emanate a pulse and let's so myself and Geckel 6 temporary hit points.
I'll take
There
it.
you go. All right. Geckel, you are once again feeling a bit more hardy.
Well, that's a good thing, because Geckel is getting rather annoyed of these things spitting acid. So, as these aren't the only things who can breathe the elements, I'm going to rear back, crackle electricity in my mouth, and use my lightning breath.
Okay.
Lightning.
And it
I can
rolled
spit
a
too.
13.
So he takes 9
So it-
lightning damage.
Full damage. Alrighty.
Just nice little spitting contest there.
Hmm.
Oh, unsanitary.
Anything else?
No, like I said, I'm pretty much just action heavy.
Okie dokie. All right. It is this thing's turn again. So. All right. You just spit acid in its face for 9 damage, so you did more. So it is going right back after you. It is going. Actually, it's going to give a bite to both you. The first one will go towards Geckel. 14 to hit.
That won't hit.
Okay. And now the next one is going to go at you, Rothgar. A 13.
Nope.
Okay. That is its turn. Oliver.
Let's see. That's gonna be. I am going to walk up to Alba, ask her if she's okay, and cast Cure Wounds on her at 2nd level.
Okay.
Alba, you gain 17 hit points.
Well, I wasn't feeling that well, but now I feel quite dandy, actually.
And if you can make a weapon attack from here, you're allowed to do so as your reaction.
Oh. Well, if she's allowed to drop a rapier, she can fire a light crossbow.
It's as a reaction, this is?
Yes.
I'll say if you want to throw something at it instead of pulling out a whole nother weapon.
Nope.
Like if you have a dagger or something like that.
She has no daggers.
Okay.
And I will end my turn.
All right. Barnabas. Thing is looking pretty hurt. Definitely not ready to fall just yet, but definitely has taken a fair share of hits.
All right. Sapping Sting. Knock it down.
Okay. A Constitution save. It rolls a 14. So, no effect. Any movement? Anything yet? You're going to sit and chill.
I'll go hang out with these guys.
Behind these guys, I see.
Yes, indeed.
All right, Alba.
Okay, Alba's going to 15, 20.
No! Don't leave! I just got here.
Don't worry, I'll be right back. And then whack and whack.
The second one misses, so you have your... It's going to hit even if you roll 1. It's a 15. Okay, so both hit. So that is 11 plus. Okay. Very, very nice.
And then... See, I almost made it back.
Yeah, this thing is hurting. Rothgar, your turn.
Yep, let's just keep on wailing.
5 more, just like that.
All right, and yeah, well, that'll be all for this turn.
All right, Geckel.
So, as it seems to have a affinity to try and bite at our waists, as it's coming down, I'm going to attempt to spin round and straight decapitate.
All right, the shot.
For a 21 to hit.
It's hanging on by a thread. Wow.
God damn it, I don't have bonus actions.
It is literally by a thread. It is still up. It is.
I mean, if I get healed by Oliver, I'll probably get a reaction attack to decapitate it.
I can do that for a spell slot.
Very true. Okay. Well, first it is this thing's turn. So. Nope. It has to be a 6 to get the acid spray back. All right. So, it is going to go ahead and take a bite at you, Gekkel.
Yay!
A 18 to hit.
Will hit.
Okay. It is going to be 5 points of slashing damage, which is already halved. It was 10, and 5 points of acid halved down to 2, so 7 total. And then the next bite is going to be at you, Rothgar, for an 18.
Shield.
Shield. Okay, because it was going to do 7 slashing and 5 acid. Alrighty. That is its turn. Oliver.
I'm going to use my action to Ray of Frost again.
Okay.
Which is right there.
Ooh, nice.
Hits. The damage is wrong again. The damage is...
It'll be...
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's
It's a-
5 total.
It's a 3 damage. It's only supposed to be...
Yeah, I'll go through it and fix it for you.
Thank you.
Yep. You right where Gekkel had actually just put a huge chunk into the back of his neck, you kind of aim for, and it just starts freezing, and you just see its body just start going limp, and it falls in front of you, and like the last little bit of skin and sinew that was hanging on together kind of cracks off in a frosted bit of blood, and his head is now rolling on the ground.
I am just going to collapse in my space, like dumbstruck.
Alba flips one of her rapiers before putting them away and kind of like, you actually did pretty good there, kid.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Well, should probably remove the hair as proof and to make sure it doesn't... Shit, I've just done it the wrong day.
Oh yes, removing that should be no problem. Go. You're strong enough. Should be just fine.
The head's already off.
Oh yeah.
Um,
We should just take that with us there.
Yeah. I mean, your previous hit left it with 1 HP, so the last bit of
nice.
frost is what kind of solidified, and when it fell to the ground, it just kind of broke apart and the head's off.
I mean, can I say, I
And
just rolled
any
a
of you,
30, which isn't a crit.
Mm-hmm.
Do I recognize what these things are?
Roll nature. No
I'm taking-
clue.
No.
I mean, you've heard of burrowing creatures, but the exact kind this one is, you're not sure.
Any of you
Does the
know
na-
what these things might be?
Well,
I'll get up and come again, guidance myself and come take a look, see if I remember any like stories about them, anything like that.
I mean,
Okay.
yeah, I also have proficiency. I could have seen them on my travels. So if you want advantage...
For anyone who wants to roll, go it.
Looks like a really big bug.
And
I don't know it.
Does anyone have any bottles or vials or anything that we might?
I got an 18 altogether.
You are absolutely positive. The smaller ones are on kegs, like regular sized on kegs. You have
Mhm.
never seen one as big as this. That is, I mean, it's an on keg. It looks like them, just larger, but you've never seen one this size before.
I've heard about creatures like this from the farmers back where I'm from. I know what the little ones are, but I've never heard of anything like them being that size.
Just to give a bit of perspective, Geckel, the head that is currently severed from the body of the large one is probably about the size of Alba.
I'm pretty sure I'm going to be the one carrying it.
Yes.
Probably. Sorry.
I can
Anything?
help a little.
Do we know if any of these little puggers might be valuable for some sorts?
Do I know from what I know?
18. I mean, the hides can sometimes be sold for for patching up armor stuff and stuff like that. As far as any sort of reagents for like magical use or alchemical use, not really. They do have an acid gland. It would probably be the only thing that would be worth anything like that.
I've heard that the glands for the acid might have some value to some people, but I'm not sure I want to risk my hands getting them out.
Yes, that might not be the best. Well, still, we seem to have taken care of all these. Perhaps we could, yes, Geckel there, you could pick up that head. We can head back, confirm, job well done.
Head back.
Well, I sure hope so, considering we killed a few of them and the biggie here.
I'm sorry, Barney, I don't have any vials for you. Perhaps buy some when we get back to town.
He looks upset.
Well, if you want, I can empty a water skin and you can fill that up with some fluid.
No, it's fine.
Because I can get mine from my jug. It creates liquid.
He's already stopped thinking about that and is on to something else.
Well, I'll take that as a no then.
You guys gonna head back?
I mean, unless people want to go down the hole.
Do we want to look down the hole again?
Not particularly. I'd rather just head back. I mean, I'm assuming these things would have appeared more so if they actually existed down there.
Suppose that's a good point.
Yes, of course. And oh, yes. Well, we're all here. That'd be 10 temporary HP for all of us.
Nice.
Okay.
And I'll cast Prestidigitation just to clean everybody off with the blood and the acid and all that kind of stuff.
I'll help with that process.
Bits of clothing have burns and holes in them and stuff like that, but nothing too severe. Everything else seems to be fine anyway, and nice cleaned off and all that kind of stuff for your travels back.
Very good.
Okay. So you guys, it takes about another. I'll say it takes a little bit longer, maybe like 35 or so minutes to get back to the outside gate because of carrying the large head. Geckel, go ahead and make an intelligence check.
That's what barbarians are known for.
I mean, I've got a +1.
That's not bad.
Didn't help.
Okay.
That's bad. That's bad.
Ooh. You don't notice in time to fix it. You're going to take 6 points of acid damage. The acid gland is actually still in where the head is, and it's dripping, and it is burning your lower back and your legs.
Bloody hell. Probably want to take the acid gland out of this. It's still fucking dripping.
So,
So
Not very good there.
who wants to try and do that?
Anyone give a chance with that? Anyone know?
Well,
What's the skill check
if you
for it?
let me put it down, I can
Well-
give it a try.
I would assume
Well,
it'd
go
be
ahead.
medicine.
Whoever wants to look, go ahead and whoever wants to roll an investigation to see if you could determine where it's leaking out of, the
Albert can
location.
try.
Okay.
Or Barnabas did it.
There we go.
Oh dang.
Yeah. Actually, looking around, Barnabas, you see it's kind of at maybe maybe half a foot in to where the severed part of the neck would be. You see a kind of sickly dark green mixed with some browns, bit of a something in there that's just it's kind of slowly releasing the acid. So you're pretty sure that it's not very far up, and if with a 24, if you guys don't think or are not comfortable taking it out, if you guys just chopped maybe up another foot from where the sever is right now, you could probably just cut that section off.
Well, do you want me to try and remove it, or do we just want to cut a bit
Ugh.
deeper?
No, just hack a bit of that off there. There's no reason.
I mean, can I do both at the same time?
That's up to you guys.
No, it's just say go ahead, go. Geckle, just hack a bit of it off. There's no reason we need to cut it out. Its head this big. I mean,
Well, alright. I'll have to do some repairs on my hand axe, but sure. And I will attempt to basically just chop it out.
Yeah, I mean, you don't even got to roll for it. It takes maybe 2 or 3 minutes to kind of get it through all the way and to break it off, and you are able to separate the chunk. Actually, go ahead and roll just a strength check to see your precision. Okay, yeah, you do damage the gland a bit as you're doing it, and you cut around a little bit deeper, so the gland is now no longer really usable.
Well, it's not what we were here for in the first place, so it's not really a loss.
Can't lose what you never had, right?
Precisely.
So yeah, again, after about 35, 40 minutes, you get back to the gate. Upon approach, the guards kind of look at you all and nod, and then they see Gecko kind of walking up with a huge head attached to his back, and they kind of stop you. And, where do you think you're going with that?
Well,
We were sent out by Alison Carr to investigate what's causing the disappearance of the cows, and here it is. We were told to bring proof.
They kind of look at each other, look back and forth, and go, "Oh, you got your proof. We'll vouch for you, but you're not bringing that into the city."
Yeah, as long as you can vouch for us, that would be quite pleasant of you.
Right. Okay. Just they kind of look around. They point over towards it looks like a small rickety guardhouse, and they go, "Leave it back there out of sight, please."
well, fine, but I don't even know if you can lift it by yourselves. And he'll just plonk it down behind the guardhouse.
Yeah.
yes. What's your name, so we know who to send word for?
It won't be from one of us. It'll be from just from the watch.
All right then. Very well.
They nod and they kind of look at you and just kind of look over at the head again, and they, all right, hurry up, in with you, and they kind of open up the gates, move out of your way so you can head in.
Well, thank you.
All right. And I would say probably Barnabas, you probably know this city the best from having taught here and everything. So you're rather familiar with the market ward. You're able to get to the shop easily enough. It looks very nice. When you're outside of it, you notice from the bright yellow that she told you about outside. You definitely see that They don't have as much meat as they normally do, which you can kind of guess why. But everything else seems to be coming out nicely. Their crops and stuff are out front, and the door is actually wide open with a nice summer breeze blowing through. Um, so you guys are currently right outside Allison's little farmers market.
All right, I'll kind of burst in, just victory, victory, victory. Your cows will no longer be plagued.
After about 15 or so seconds, you hear someone come out of the back room and, oh, you're here.
Yes,
Oh,
we've taken care of your little problem.
uh, who was it? Or what was it, should I say?
Giant creatures, like bugs that seem to spit acid, including one just enormous. It was ridiculous. Must have been gargantuan.
She kind of like looks a bit disgusted, and you're sure that it's done. We have nothing else to worry about. There's not going to be more.
Well, we took care of every one of them that came right after us. Yes. If you wish to go see, we brought the head of the largest one back. The watch has it.
She nods. She goes, I believe you. I can see it looks a little bit of battle worn. Is everyone okay?
We're
Oh,
all
none of us
actually
are
quite
worse for
fine.
wear.
Yeah, we're all right.
Well,
Very good.
I kind of give a new definition to the word smouldering, but all in all, fine.
She kind of just looks and nods and says, well, I didn't bring the gold with me. I don't really feel comfortable carrying that much around with me by myself through the city. But if you go back to the tavern, my husband, he can give you it.
Of course, that's fine.
And she goes, just here. And she starts scribbling down a bit of a note. And she says, just here, just give this to him. It'll be he'll know it's from me, and know to that the job is done, and that you will be free to stay in our tavern whenever you want for free.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you, ma'am.
It's very kind of you.
She kind of nods, and then Alba, she looks over to you. She goes, is your father okay?
And she just smirks and is like, oh, yes, he's fine. He did quite well.
She nods. She goes, okay, good. I know it's probably not what he would want to hear, but he worried me.
Oh, don't worry. I'll make sure to take care of my father.
She nods. She goes, well,
yes.
So, yeah, you will be able to pick up your payment back at the tavern. I'll be back there around sunset again tonight if there's anything else you need to discuss.
That sounds fine.
Yes, we'll see you there in sunset. No work.
She goes, well, thank you again, and I'm gonna get back to work. And you hear her going back, and there is some meat there, but like obviously it's not nearly as much as what would normally be in like a place that has like their own livestock. And you just hear her start chopping, and you assume she's preparing some sorts of meat and stuff. And she gets back to work and leaves you guys to do what you wish.
As she leaves, Barnabas will like, well, it was very nice of her to offer to let us stay here for free. However, he looks over at Albert. He's like, I live here, right?
I do, father, I do. Although I think you would be more grandfather, probably.
He does not seem amused.
I don't mean to pry, but what is you two's relation anyway?
We were part of the same adventuring crew before.
Okay.
Ah, so you've had another crew before. Did they have wonderful grand adventures?
Oh, yes. I would call them quite grand.
We
And
made quite a name
what
for
of the
ourselves,
rest?
actually.
Yeah, quite a name for ourselves. Just a while ago, though. Yeah, are the members still active? I never actually asked you.
Well, as far as I know, at least two of. Well, I don't know if they're adventuring anymore, but I do know two that are still around. Not here, of course. It's Singorn and Vasselheim, so I don't suppose we'll be seeing them anytime soon.
No, it was easiest to find you.
I'm not hiding, so I suppose that's a fair assessment.
So, is there anything you guys want to do? Do you want to just head right back to the tavern? Do you want to take a detour? Anything else around the city you want to do?
First off, anything shiny, interesting? What's not in the market here?
The area you're in right now is more like foods, grocery type stuff.
Okay.
There are other sections. They have like they have all the basic shops. They have a tinkering shop. They have a blacksmith, a leather worker, all that kind of
I
stuff.
was just saying, like any little doodads, trinkets lying about, or yeah, just if nothing in view, I'm good.
Yeah, no, definitely not anything like that in your immediate area.
Any
All right,
bakeries?
Any what?
Bakeries.
There is a little bit of the ways. Like if you guys are just taking a bit of a walk in the direction of the tavern, you do pass two bakeries actually. One is rather close to where her shop is, and the other would be if you kept on going about halfway between the two.
I'll go to the one near her shop.
It is a little not quite middle aged, a little bit younger than that, gnomish woman who is in there and is currently baking many things and is in the process of pulling out a loaf of bread that is probably twice the size of her.
Well, hello. Do you have any fresh breads? Well, by the looks of it, you do.
She goes, yeah, how much are you looking for?
I'd say about a couple of silvers worth.
Couple silvers worth. Yeah, hold on 1 second. And she puts that one down. She goes, this one isn't cooled, obviously. Do you want this, or would you look like one that's a bit more cooled off?
Well, if the one you've just taken out the oven's available, sure, I'll take that.
She just gives you a nod and flips up a bit of a knife in her hand, catches it, and cuts down about 2/3 of it, and pulls it off and gives you the larger of the slices.
Fantastic.
She goes, that'll be 2 silver.
Perfect. Thank you very much. And I'll hand her 5.
She goes, not expected, but appreciated. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And have a nice day.
You as well.
And I'll head out eating a hot loaf.
Okay. And she goes back to cooking and baking and all the other stuff. And it smells amazing when you went in, and it still smells very good as you're leaving.
Can't complain. Nice smell of bread and eating a hot loaf.
If it's all the same to you guys, I'd like to kind of go look around the city some. I've never been someplace this big before, so it just kind of want to see what there is.
I can look around with you. I mean, I have been here before, but it was quite a while ago. Things do seem different.
Did we get
All
money? I may have missed that.
She did not have the money with her. It is back at the tavern whenever you guys make your way back there.
That's what Barnabas wants to do. He wants money.
Okay.
I think Gekkel wants it back because he was covered in acid multiple times.
Well, if you're going through all right, well, I'll give you a quick rundown of the city. There is the market ward, which is self-explanatory. The temple ward, again, self-explanatory, as well as the resident ward. The scholars ward, which is where your school would have been, Barnabas, and the opal ward. The opal ward is pretty much the center of the city. It's where all the law and governing takes place. There is no residential housing, but it is the home, Margrave's, the Hall of Reason, and the public square. The keep is a squat mansion that houses the Margrave, who is very high up in the city. The Hall of Reason is pretty much a very old elven style courthouse, and it has a statue to Bahamut there as well. And then the public square is exactly what you would think. It's for gatherings and all that kind of stuff. Is there any place in particular you guys wanted to go look around?
Not so much for Oliver. Mostly just keeping to the main streets, not going any place he's not supposed to go, taking in the sights. Only one that might cause any pause would be, other than just the sightseeing element of it, would be the Margrave's Keep. Which I'm assuming, since Alba said that she's going to and has been here before, Oliver would ask her, like, if that is the Margrave's Keep.
Yeah, Alba would act as tour guide, stating something that might be correct and something that might be incorrect.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you this, Alba. The last you heard, the Margrave was a man named Zimmersat. It was Margrave Zimmersat. The keep was it's pretty much for military barracks and that kind of stuff, but it also does house him, the Margrave, and his family.
I'd like to meet him someday.
Really? Why?
It's nothing really. I'm looking for someone, and I think he might know them and know where they are. I don't have a lot to go on, so.
Who are you looking for? Like a mentor, a sister, brother, family, friend?
Mentor. He's he's my dad, actually.
Family and a mentor.
Kind of. I was kind of hoping I might run into him if I started this whole adventuring career. I'm not in any hurry about it, but as far as I know, like, that's one of the few leads I have. So I don't know.
It's just the Margrave.
I heard that he had worked for this town for a while through some military service, so I thought maybe he would know.
Oh, how did you lose him? Dragon attack? That seems to be sort of common, at least before.
No, I didn't know him very well at all. I've mostly just heard about him. I don't know where he is. I don't know what's happened, if something's happened, or if he's just been busy. But I kind of I don't know. It's not a big deal. Don't worry about it.
No, I'm not worried. Just curious. What spurred this on? Strange visions, or just the feeling, or were you hurt badly before you started your adventure?
I grew up with stories about Dad being an adventurer, so it was kind of always what I wanted to do.
Inspiration, then.
Yeah. Anyway, we should probably start heading back.
Yep, yeah. Wouldn't mind a bath after all that, well, getting sprayed with acid and all.
Yeah, you guys were all incredible out there. I mean, I can't imagine getting hit like that, all that stuff, and still managing to keep fighting, keep going. It was incredible.
Oh, thank you, and you did quite well yourself, actually. Helping us, healing us, allowing us
I mean,
extra attacks, inspiring us.
I just did a little, a couple spells here and there. It's the least I could do.
And you killed
it? Yeah, well, that was a bit of a surprise.
Won't that be something to tell your father when you finally find him?
Yeah. Yeah, it will.
And as for the others who were not going along with the walk, Barnabas, you get back. Who did anyone go back with Barnabas? I think Gecko, you said you were because you wanted to take a bath.
Correct, yes.
And what about you, Rothgar? What were you up to?
No, just I was going to head off to back to the tavern there, regale them with the great tale of this newest adventure.
Okay. Well, when you three get back, since she handed the note to you, Rothgar, when you get back, you give the husband the note. He reads it quickly and says, "Oh, we appreciate it," and then pulls out the same little box of coins and puts it down. And quickly going through it, it's 125 gold. So if you all split it up, it would be 25 each. And he just pushes it out in front of you.
Why,
Okay.
thank you, sir. It was quite the adventure, I might tell you. Oof, those buggers, oof. I can understand why your cattle kept disappearing. Those things were quite large.
And he's kind of, you can see he's very grateful and trying to listen to your story, but at the same time, he's running the bar by himself right now. So he kind of keeps like, "Oh yeah, hold on a second." He goes away, passes out a few drinks, comes back and goes, listens for a few more. Oh, wait, 1 second. And he goes back and you hear him bang around pots and pans and stuff. He's like trying to listen, but he's having a very hard time.
Oh yeah.
Barnabas took the money and left. He's going to look for spells, as a wizard is prone to do.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Well, you know your way around. Do you want to go to like a magic shop, or are you going to the schools and that kind of stuff?
Wherever I believe I can get the most bang for my small amount of money.
Well, I mean, you are a teacher at the school, which does hold a little bit of weight. So, I mean, you could look through any spell books you want, and I mean, if you decided to, you could probably save, put some of the money towards it, and do it without paying for the actual spell itself.
Okay. Also, I just realized that per my background, I could have probably, not that it would have helped in the moment, but I could have, I have the researcher feature. So like if I don't know a thing, I know where I can find out the thing.
Yep.
Oh, nice.
Such a good feature.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't have helped in the moment, but I could have found out what those creatures were.
So yeah, we'll say you go up to the school. Is there any spell you're looking for in particular?
Probably not in particular, just something that does some damage because I didn't take any.
All right. Let's see real quick. Go ahead and roll a. Let me see.
I mean, what you should do is give him lightning lore to make the enemies come closer to him.
Yeah, that's what I want.
It's clearly what he was built for.
Go ahead and roll a d20. Okay. All right. Now roll a. Actually, no. Okay. Since you're specifically looking for damaging type spells, the one you are able to find for that at level 1 is Earth.
Okay.
I'm sure you can find the spell yourself. And now go ahead and roll another a D10.
Oh, Earth Tremor's not on the friggin' thing. I gotta write it down. D10.
I found a lot of those when I was trying to make my sheet. I was
roll 20.
surprised.
Roll 20's terrible.
It was weird too. Like I would expect it to be like, oh, we have all the player handbook ones, but not like the expanded books. But it was like,
nope.
Oh, you want something funky out of Xanathar's guide? Fine. You want something like
elemental evil book or anything.
PHB?
Mm-hmm. Well, the level 2 spell you're able to find is a better choice if you don't want to spend money on the other one. It's Melf's Acid Arrow.
Ooh, that's nice.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Okay. You know how all the spell costs and all that stuff goes, right?
50 gold, so I'm broke.
I think, is it 50 gold or is it 50 per spell level?
It's a good thing I just glanced at it a second ago.
Oh, and I don't think I told everyone. For starting gold, since we were starting level 3, I let you guys take your equipment and you still roll for starting gold. I don't know if everyone did that.
Oh, I did not. Yay, more gold.
What's it for?
So yeah, if you hadn't done it yet, go ahead and go for it.
Yay. I gotta find where starting gold for cleric is.
Oh, yep. It's for each level, so I can't even afford Melf's acid arrow.
Go ahead and roll for your gold unless you already did.
I already did.
Okay.
With my starting gold and our reward, I have 57 gold.
I'm just gonna
Alright,
roll my massive 2d4.
All right. Yeah, the bard is 5d4 plus 10.
Oh,
I
shit.
started as a cleric.
Oh, you started as a cleric, so that would be the same.
Holy shit.
5d4 plus 10.
I get
Yep.
70 gold.
Tara, did you already roll?
She's
Oh,
should be RB, yeah.
Yeah, I did mine last night when you told me
Yay.
there. So,
Okay.
Extra 25 gold. I'll take it.
oh, cool.
Oh, I'm sorry. It wasn't the plus 10. It's times 10. So whatever you got times.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So then 15, so 150. I will take that even more happily.
Right. Okay. Well, in that case, Barnabas, you're able to get back. Everyone's back at the tavern by nightfall. Is there anything you guys are looking to do?
Actually, since I have more starting gold than I thought I did, I am going to see if I can just buy a loot somewhere in town.
Absolutely.
I mean,
Let
I
me
could
look up-
sell you an axe, but it's not the one you're looking for.
Yeah, I'm not so good with those.
Mm. I am awful with remembering prices for stuff.
So am I. I'm pulling it up right now. Don't worry about it. Let's see. Equipment. Right there. The loot is 35 of those gold pieces.
Yep. And Tara, I don't know if I told you as well. You started with your starting equipment, plus you got to roll for starting gold. So I don't know if you actually rolled for the gold.
Oh, I rolled for the gold, but I didn't have the starting equipment.
Then what would your starting equipment have been? Would it have been the Explorer's Pack?
I think so.
All right. Then add another. We'll say add another 50 gold to your starting.
Cool.
All right. So everyone is back. You're all in the tavern. You are eating and drinking for free. So is there anything that you guys are going to be doing? Anything you want to talk about? Anything like that?
Yeah, party stuff comes first. Anything people want to talk about?
I was gonna first. Oh yes, gents, gotta have your share of the loot here. I'll just give everyone else their gold. I know Barnabas just ran off with his, so he's already got his. You know.
Oh, he's probably searching for spells. He does that. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks.
But of course, we all get to share the treasure. You know.
Well, there is one thing I believe we should do, and that's raise a toast to our first kill as a party, really, and to what's your character called again?
Oliver.
And to Oliver for actually getting the first kill.
Indeed. Raise a glass. Yes.
Cheer, cheer.
Yes, I'll just I'll get a water. Yes, okay. Yes. A glass.
You're here. Oliver at this point is like bright blue.
Oliver, you know this means that you have to find the name of our group.
What?
Well,
Well, you're the first kill. You have to figure it out.
precisely, you're the MVP today, so you're the one who makes the big decisions. Well, for now.
I'll sleep on it.
Try to have a bit more confidence. You did well. Quite powerful, considering you got a bit of magic. Not everyone does.
Yeah, I mean, kind of runs in the family. Bit of that talent.
Well, should be proud of it. It's good to have.
Thanks.
So, everyone go ahead and make a perception check. Right.
Oh,
Pretty much everyone aside from the embarrassed tiefling, you guys all hear people talking. You know, once Allison got back, she told a few people of what you guys did, and they also thanked you. There were a couple more farmers there that also gave their thanks and stuff. And there are there's a lot of people here tonight. They're all talking. They're all having a good time. And there are some interesting things you hear being said back and forth. Talk of like different jobs and such. More talk about the turf fields and the flooding of the drugs into the small village. Stuff about there's supposedly a local woman who was newly married and her husband just left her, and it kind of just like the local gossip about how he ran off with another woman and stuff like that. You definitely are picking up different conversations from different groups of people in here.
Well, our Gecko will be keeping an ear out for any more possible jobs. You have to keep sharp on your skills.
Okay.
Yep, and Rothgar is gonna see if he can scrounge up in the gossip, see if he hears anything that might sound reminiscent of some pirate. If anyone happened to hear any stories about the pirates who left him.
Okay. Unfortunately, being pretty much in the center of the continent, there's not much talk of pirates here.
Figured, yep. I wasn't sure if maybe some things spread.
But as you're going around, and just kind of listening in, talking here and there, you do hear more about the woman who was talking about how her husband left her. It's actually, it appears from what you're hearing, it's one of the girls in here, her sister, who is this woman. She has been staying home. She's miserable. She's convinced he left for another woman and stuff. And they are talking about perhaps having people go to look for who this woman is that stole her husband and where they are and like locating them and everything. So there is talk of jobs there. There's a lot of talk of caravans, especially going to Whiterunn, or from Whiterunn to the Terse Fields. There are some of the longer distant ones that go all the way down to Kaimo, up to Whitestone, stuff like that as well. And that's pretty much it that you're hearing for like jobs in the immediate vicinity.
Well, take note, and I'll obviously confirm with everyone tomorrow after the revelry.
Anyone else?
I would say Alba's just drinking and being merry.
I would assume that I am still just desperately trying to avoid any sort of like eye contact with the party who might make me make decisions.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll forget about it by the morning.
Oh, I'm sure. Totally.
Just to say, so is Alba drinking wine or beer?
She would be drinking ale.
Ale. I'll Gekko slide over to Alba. How much do you have left in your cup?
Oh, about maybe 1/3.
Pass it here for a second, will you? And I shall refill it.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you.
Well, we can have a drink even if we're not in a tavern.
It's quite handy there.
Trying to poison you.
Oh, I'm sure it'll be fine.
Well, it's good for us, but we should probably try to get Oliver to relax a little bit. Maybe get him a little bit more drunk.
I love this idea out of character.
What do you say? Are you in?
Sure.
Oliver,
Yeah?
could you come here for a minute, please?
All right. Get up and come right over to you. What's up?
Yeah, sit between us.
Okay.
Well, as the hero of the day, so drink up. You've earned it.
Most definitely earned it.
I mean, all right. And at this point, he would have already been nursing probably some wine anyway, so pick up that pace a little bit.
Yep, so
Fair enough.
it's going to be 4 gallons of beer that's going to be poured, so get ready to keep drinking.
Oh. But yeah, Oliver's gonna cave to peer pressure. So like the longer they try this, the more successful they will be.
So, so it's 4 gallons. Okay, well,
Yeah.
that's a lot of beer. So, you probably would have a hard time finishing all that throughout the rest of the night. So I'm gonna go ahead and say, Rob,
Con
go ahead and
save?
roll a d10. Okay.
Oh.
Nice.
All right. They're very persuasive, and you drink 10 glasses.
Ah. Huh.
It's not like you're sitting there chugging them. You do space them out. You don't go crazy. But yeah, over like the next, I'll say 3.5 hours, you have 10 full mugs of beer. So yeah, con save is in order.
Okay.
After about the 9th one, you guys are starting to be like, okay, like once he starts the 10th one, I'll say, you guys are kind of like, okay, yeah, might be going a bit too far. And before he even finishes the full 10th one, he is face first passed out on the table.
It was a great day.
It's a wonderful day.
Did this thing. I'm an adventurer now.
You are an adventurer.
Well, considering how you are, we should probably take our next adventure up to your bedroom for a sleep.
I'm fine.
I'll just pick him up and take him upstairs.
Yeah.
Fair
Oh.
enough.
-1 strength mod. You're fine.
Yeah, so you get him up. Probably prop him up on his side so that way he doesn't choke himself. And yeah, you leave him looking as comfortable as possible.
I'll head back down.
I gotta think of a name still. Oh, night.
Well, he should at least
You guys.
wake up with a
You
good
guys are
morning.
awesome. You guys are so good. Like, it was so cool. You with the axes and those bugs. It was awesome. And the swords. Oh my god, the swords. That was also just. Oh my goodness.
Turns around and no one's in the room with him.
Yep.
And I'll say it was probably approaching maybe 10:30 by the time he was brought up to bed. So it's not like the inn's gonna be or the tavern's gonna be closing anytime soon. So you guys are able to stay up, have more talk, do whatever you want, or if you want to go to sleep, go for it.
Oh yeah, probably regale the tavern with the tales, of course. We must. And then before I head off to bed, I will set up an alarm in my room. Just
On the inside of your door or the outside?
Yep, the inside of the door there.
Okay. Works perfectly. You've done it before. You know it's working, and you are confident that you'll be alarmed if anyone tries to come in.
Very good. Then, yep, I get ready for bed, take off the armor, all that jazz, and
Okay. All right. Geckel and Alba and Barnabas, what are you guys up to?
I think Barnabas would be writing everything he could about, basically just starting a journal about the creatures that we came across.
Go ahead and roll a nature check. Yeah, I'll say while you were at the school, since you didn't get any of the spells, you remembered to look up some of the stuff on the Ankeg, and yeah, you pretty much know everything you can. Like you're able to write down from memory most of the information that you learned, but even in your research, you have still never seen anything coming even close to the size that the biggest one was.
Okay.
And are you doing this downstairs still, or did you go up to your room to do that?
I probably would have gone upstairs because I'm not drinking.
Okay. All right. Then Geckel and Alba, you two are the only ones still down there.
Well, Geckel would probably try to finish off the rest of the 4 gallons and offer if Alba wishes to help finish it.
Sure.
Well, we might as well get drinking because it'll disappear in the morning.
Yeah, finish it off. No, not too much harm.
No,
Can't waste it either.
no, and it's better to know that we have things like this available if we do travel a bit more.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys are going to try to split it.
Yeah,
Yep.
give or take.
Okay. That's 22 more pints. So you're each going to be drinking 1 more than he did. So go ahead and you can both do Constitution saving throws.
I mean, to be fair, when I was younger, I could do that in one sitting.
We used to, 3 of us would sit down with a 30-pack before a party would start, and it would be gone within an hour.
oh boy.
Yeah, neither one of you are able to finish. You guys, Alba, you get to about the 9 mark, and you physically can't drink anymore. Like, you will explode or just start vomiting if you keep drinking. So you probably, I don't know, would you just kind of call it quits and go up to bed?
Yeah, she'll be like, "Oh, by the gods, I haven't felt like this since I died. I'll see you later. Have fun." And she'll just sway. Yes? Are you going to bed as well? Good luck with the rest of the drink.
I'll try. Thank you. Good night.
Good night. Coriander, are you joining me, or have you... There you are, bird. Let's go upstairs, bird. Lovely bird. So happy you're the same bird.
And yeah, Geckel, you roll roll a wisdom saving throw real quick. Let's see how determined you are. Okay, you're determined enough. You are able to finish, but at the end, as you're starting to walk up, you leave a streak of vomit in the hallway.
Well, that's the next person's problem.
You, like I said, you were determined enough to finish it, but it definitely started coming back up before you were able to get into your room.
Well, as long as I ninja out of sight, no one will know it's me.
True. All right. So, everyone gets a great night's sleep. The three who were drunk, go ahead and roll one more Constitution saving throw each. This one's going to be a much lower DC. Okay. You two wake up, hangover, a bit of a headache. Maybe it's
Oliver.
because you haven't usually drank that much, but Oliver, you're hurting the next day. Like, you have a bit of the headache, and you're still, like, every now and then you kind of, like, you're burping it up and you still taste it, and it's like making you kind of vomit a bit, and you're like spitting it, and it's just not a great morning for you.
I'm a little dude. I drank a lot of poison.
I mean, I would occasionally listen to the.
Yeah.
As you guys are all making your way down, the barkeep Allison again brings you your food, gives you more thanks, and she goes, if you don't mind, I did hear a bit of a story about someone who might be sending out a party to find where a gentleman had gone off to. I don't know if you talked to anyone like that last night.
Well, I heard there was a couple of caravans that go from town to town. That's about it.
Oh no, I believe we heard something about husband ran off.
Yeah, she goes, yeah, that one. I didn't promise them anything, but the girl whose sister it is quite a regular here, and I didn't tell them that you would do it, but I did tell them that you had just finished a job for me and you were very good, so they're interested in speaking with you.
Well, what do you say, crew?
Well, I assume she could speak to most of us that don't know about Oliver today.
Well, Oliver has to think of a name for us. Did you think of one last night?
No.
Barnabas, these kids are fucking crazy.
Yeah, he's not even really paying attention at this point. He's still sort of a little groggy.
Mm-hmm.
Oliver, you know healing stuff. Can't you just make yourself feel better?
Maybe. Probably not. I can fix, like, people getting, like, cut and stuff. I'm not so good with the whole poison thing.
Well, just think of it as a state of mind and you'll be able to get over it.
Yeah.
I just put
I'll go.
I'm gonna put the jug next to him while it's still got a bit of a whiff of alcohol.
Okay, hold on. That calls for, as far as I'm concerned, I don't puke.
You get the reflex starting a little bit, but you're able to swallow it back down like, not this time.
Mm-hmm. I'll go wherever you guys want to go. I might be a little slow, but I'm an adventurer. Gotta keep adventuring.
Well.
Allison kind of nods, and she goes, well, the bit of information I have is that apparently her husband was a hunter. Spent most of his days going out to the Bramblewood. They've only been married maybe 2 months, and over the past 2 weeks, he seemed to have been coming back and acting strangely toward his wife and such. And one day, after when he went out hunting, he just never came back, and she was convinced that he ran away with a woman.
Well, we'd have to ask her what proof she has, because that's not a lot to go on.
She nods. She goes, "Well, that was just in passing, and also she was quite drunk last night, so you're probably better off talking to her sometime when she hasn't been drinking."
I'm probably drunk and angry.
To be fair, I'd rather chase down a missing person than someone who's just missing. So I hope he's okay.
She nods and she goes, "Well, they stay up in the resident ward, and she gives a couple of street names. Barnabas, are you paying attention?"
Sorry, my Discord keeps cutting out. So
Oh, my bad. Is Barnabas paying attention, or is he kind of still just doing his own thing?
He's probably paying a little bit of attention, but he's still making notes.
What's your passive perception, actually?
Good question. What is it?
Yeah, because it's 10 plus whatever your modifier is.
Uh, 13 is passive.
Okay. She's talking loud enough. It's quiet enough in there that you do still pick it up. So you hear the name of a couple of streets, and then she tells you where she tells the group where the woman lives, and you I mean, without even really acknowledging it, you know where to go when everyone wants to go.
Okay.
But yeah, so she's explaining. She tells you that she has no real affiliation with this woman aside from that her sister is a commoner. Like, she's always in the bar. She spends a lot of her nights there. So they've never met the woman herself whose husband left, but they are rather familiar with the sister.
Well, we can wait till everyone's kind of recovered after breakfast and we can head out if everyone wants.
That sounds good.
She gives you a bit of a nod, and starts heading back to cook up a bit more food, all that kind of stuff. And instead of going on to the conversation with the next woman, because I don't even have a name for her yet, we'll go ahead and call it there since it's getting close to 10 o'clock anyway.